Max'sPrintShop.com. Since 1978, we pride ourselves on personally meeting every customer's need. We can take your project from design to production. And remember, Max's Print Shop will stitch anything. And we mean anything in the Utica, Rome area. Find us at 9555 River Road in Marcy or online at Max'sPrintShop.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, good morning, and boy, what a change in the weather after a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. This is crazy what we're going to be looking at this week, right? Temperatures up near 90 degrees. And then it's going to cool off for the weekend, but that means what? Like 78 degrees, close to 80 degrees. Really, really nice. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of things happening. And Manaski, I couldn't wait to get to you on this. I know this is a big state championship weekend in high school baseball. And this thing is, I'm glad to see our internet's moving faster than ever. But I think I've got it up now. Did you see the story out of Western New York where the two teams were competing for a state championship? And it's entitled...
Sectionals? Is it sectionals?
Well, it might have been sectionals. It says here it was a state championship. Because, I mean, is that where they're at right now? Are they in the sectionals?
Yeah, yesterday would have been like New Hartford was in this class, Section 3 Class A bracket.
Oriskany won the Class D final.
Oriskany won 1-0.
Sectionals.
Wow.
Well, they're calling this a state championship. I thought the same thing. It probably is a sectional championship, and I believe it's Section 5 out of Western New York. Worst way ever to lose a game.
Oh, I did see this.
Oh, my God. So the rule is, so it's the bottom of the seventh. I'm assuming they still play 7 innings in high school baseball?
Yeah.
Bottom of the seventh. The team was, is it Palmyra? Hornell Red Raiders' magical baseball season seemed to have a Section 5 championship attached with a 5-4 win over the favorite Palmac in Batavia Saturday afternoon. They were up 5-4. There was a runner on first base. So there are 2 outs, 2 strikes on the batter. Swing, foul tip, catcher drops the ball. And have you heard it described? Have you seen the video of this?
I have seen it. It was a foul tip?
Well, so I think it was foul tipped, and the catcher dropped the ball.
So that should be just a foul ball then.
Then it wasn't then.
Okay.
Then he
It
just
was a drop
dropped the
third
ball.
strike.
A drop third strike
Okay.
it was. Here's how they called it. So the catcher begins to walk out to give himself some room to throw down to first base, and then just decides to run out and hug the pitcher.
Which I don't understand.
I didn't understand it at all. Here, listen to how they describe it here.
2-2, 2 on. Strike 3. And he's out. Hornell wins it.
Okay, so that's what it looked like. He never threw down to first base. The kid running down to first base, obviously the first base coach just kept waving him around because they're paying no attention to him. He continues to run while the team is jumping on. It looked like 86 Mets jumping on top of each other on the mound.
Yeah, except for like the shortstop was the only one who knew what was going on.
I believe it was the shortstop standing out there, and he's like waving his arms saying, guys. Now, meanwhile, nobody knows where the ball is. Nobody knows where the ball is. So the kid who was already on base is running through, and the one who struck out technically is running the bases, and this is how the rest of it gets described.
Oh, wait a minute. Hornell's got to pay attention. I'm not sure what's going on here.
They both run across the bag at home plate.
It's going to end?
Now, this is the thing that I also don't understand, is the coach, and I'd be frustrated too.
Yeah.
The coach has now got his fist in the face, or his hand, his finger in the face of the umpire, yelling at the home plate umpire. Why? Why are you yelling at the home plate umpire? Should the umpire have said, hey, guys, wait a minute, you got to throw down to first base? Is that the umpire's responsibility? Mr. Manaski?
I don't think so.
It isn't. I can't imagine.
No. I can look, if he starts running and I don't think the ball's been dropped, I'll say out. The batter is out.
Right.
It's not a drop third strike.
So maybe that's what they were arguing over, but you can clearly see that he dropped the ball.
Yeah, that is brutal. Look, if first base is occupied less than 2 outs, he can't advance. If there's 2 outs, anything goes. Anything goes. Doesn't matter if it's runner on first and second, only a runner on second.
I saw this on Saturday night. I couldn't wait to get in here to watch this with you and to get your take on it.
I just can't.
What a great way to – this should be shown in every umpire's training session, right?
It's brutal. It's so brutal to lose a game that way.
So you would have won the –
that's clearly a drop third strike.
Yep.
Does he think he tagged him on the way by?
I thought that too, and the kid – he totally did not tag him. I'm wondering how they respond to this. This is on Barstool. The author is saying, "I'd struggle to figure out who is at fault here. I don't think it's the ump because he called the batter safe, letting the catcher know he had to throw it to first on the drop third. Is it the catcher? I think so. Just eager and anxious to win a ring, but acted too quickly. It is on the rest of the team for celebrating prematurely, just on an all-around tough look for Hornell, and a brutal way to lose a championship."
Okay, so the ball's dropped. He looks like he makes a gesture to tag and then points at the runner and looks back at the umpire. The umpire does not physically gesture anything. I don't know what he said. I just can't believe that happened.
I want to look back at that. So he kind of looks back at
looks back at the ump, and as he's pointing to the runner, as the catcher is pointing to the runner, he looks back at the ump, looks back. I just don't know how that happens. And the umpire's just looking down the first base line, watching him run.
He is. Nobody's doing anything. And at this point, they really, I don't think they have to or should do anything at that point. I mean, it's otherwise they'd be helping out the other team.
Right.
Meanwhile, the other team just slowly, quietly makes their way around the bases. People from the stands are screaming. Some are screaming about the fact that they just won the championship. Others are screaming about, look, he's running around the base. And you're right. It was either the second baseman or the shortstop, the only one that paid any attention at all. And he's trying to get everybody's attention towards the end, and to no success whatsoever because they were all too busy celebrating.
Boy, the aftermath of this with the guys with the hands on their hips and holding their hands in their head.
Terrible.
Oh,
not to mention this story. I this morning the initial Twitter post that was put out, I guess, by the media company that was calling the games has been seen 6 million times, but it has been retweeted and retweeted. I mean, it's become a national story in an awful, awful way, and every headline says the same thing. This might be the worst way to ever lose a championship.
And he's out. Hornell wins it.
See, you hear that? And he's out.
Yeah.
What is he reacting to?
Well, I just think reacting to the...
Oh, wait a minute. Hornell's got to pay attention.
I didn't know. Maybe that is a boy doing the call. I thought it was a female. Either way, maybe I think that the play-by-play person was just announcing or just reacting.
Oh, wow.
To everybody cheering and running to the mound.
The ump gives a safe sign when he looks back. You don't see it till right at the end. You can see the one arm. Yep. Oh, wow, that's so bad.
Yeah, if you watch
I never
this.
want to be in this situation.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I actually, well, there was a call at home plate where I called a kid safe because the catcher was blocking the plate. So I had to allow the run even though the runner was out, and I hated doing that. My goodness.
Well,
I had to do it. He clearly blocked the plate.
And you're
without
not
the ball.
talking about a high school, end of high school career championship game and sectional playoffs. I mean, imagine. They're
brutal.
done. Their high school careers are over. The umps are just standing there
Hornell's got to pay
watching.
attention.
This is like the Joe Buck here calling the Super
I'm
Bowl.
not sure what's going on here.
I don't know what's going on here. You better pay attention.
So is this the way it's going to end? Wow.
I gotta tell you something. I do have an interesting. So now they're yelling at the home plate umpire.
Wow.
Pale Mac's going to win it?
The Hornell kids are finally realizing they're in trouble. The umps will gather together here. You'll see this towards the end. As the manager of the team continues to yell at them, the umps seem to walk away as if they're doing a conference to decide what are we going to do. And then the home plate umpire will just say, that's it, game over. And the other
They're
team...
send everyone back here. I'm not sure what they're doing.
The other team celebrates it's all over.
Maybe not. Oh, they're giving a victory. Wow, this has got to be the most bizarre ending I've ever seen, and Hornell's going to lose the championship because of that.
So the only opinion that I'd like on this that I wonder about, and is you watch the umpire, he kind of walks away from. So is it called a box behind home plate where the umpire stands, or he just stands behind home plate?
Yeah, so there's a catcher's box there. That's called the catcher's box.
That I know, but is there so basically he just stands behind there, and the umpire does. So as the umpire begins to, everybody's celebrating, the kids are running the bases, but the umpire then walks over to the right side of home plate as if he's being yelled at by a coach. While this is all going on, the kids still are running the bases. It almost seems as if the umpire had kind of gotten confused himself.
No,
I mean, wouldn't the umpire stay back behind home plate to wait for those two to come across the bag?
So I think he is. Yeah, there's a kid.
The first one comes across.
Yep, and
then
then
the second one doesn't come across. When the second one comes across, he's to the right of the bag. The umpire is, and there's a manager down there yelling at him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's actually the third run, though.
Maybe it was the third run.
Or did they?
I thought they only had one person on
no,
base.
So there's. It looks like there's a runner on second also. If you watch from the beginning,
so they had two guys on. All right.
Okay, but so
At that
right
point,
after it happens,
it's over.
he points at the runner, and actually he does give the safe gesture right after the catcher runs away from him. Boy, I'll tell you,
But you
that's
still have
brutal.
to officiate the other two runs coming across the bag, and it almost seemed like there was confusion because now the manager from the other team is out yelling at him, which would be some sort of an interference, I would think, anyway. But the runners from the other team just kept running around the bag and scoring. What a way to end a game! What a way to end a championship! Wow.
So can you go back to the beginning one more time?
I can't because the internet. I have to keep maneuvering this thing to even get it to play. But anyway, what an end, right? Should be taught in every umpire school class.
Well,
here's
the
how to
umpires
handle it.
The umpires know that. That catcher's got to know that. It's got to be taught at every high school level.
Well,
the kids got to know
it.
not to give away a game like that.
They've known it since Little League. How would you make that mistake? I don't know. What else?
This is how it's going to end.
This is how it's going to end.
Wow.
Okay. And talk about that fire in the Adirondacks. What an awful fire. A historic hotel over the weekend burning, and it looks like it is a complete loss, right?
Yeah. It's unbelievable when this happens. Do they know what caused it?
Historic Adirondack Inn is a total loss after an early morning fire on Saturday. The Big Moose Inn in the town of Webb. The blaze was fought for hours from, you can imagine how old the wood that was burning, how old that wood was. The blaze was fought all night long into the wee hours of the morning. Firefighters were still on the scene as of 11:30, according to a worker at the Big Moose Volunteer Fire Company. The owner of the inn, who lives next door, spotted the fire near the rear pantry and ran to evacuate guests. The guests were able to get out, and nobody was injured. The inn appears to be a total loss, according to police. In the photos here, it looks like everything has been just reduced to rubble. The inn was built in 1903 and had 16 guest rooms in total there. It just was a terrible piece of history being destroyed and wiped from the landscape there. Terrible.
They set up a $35,000 GoFundMe page, and they upped it to $50,000. They're already at $52,000.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, it looks like a donation came in this morning for $5,000, another for $1,000. You're right. This was a historic place, and a lot of people with memories here, and it is really sad.
An Oneida County Corrections officer was arrested after lying about checking on inmates, according to deputies. They say that initially there was a report that came out that said that he had been suspended with pay. Turns out they re-released that, and he's been suspended without pay. It said, according to the Oneida County Sheriff's Department, that Jacob Mayo logged required inmate supervision tours into the computer system, but did not do them, according to deputies on Saturday. Incidents happened in the unit Mayo was assigned to, and officials discovered that he had not necessarily told the truth when speaking about doing the regular checks. After reviewing surveillance footage, deputies determined Mayo never took any of the tours that he logged in. He gave deputies a false written statement about the tours as well. He was charged with falsifying business records and making a punishable false written statement. According to the Oneida County Sheriff's Department, he was given an appearance ticket from the town of Whitestown Court. Wow. Yeah. Over the weekend, we were in New York City. It was my daughter's 21st birthday, so we spent the 3 or 4 days in the city. And Saturday night, I got to talk about this. It was Fleet Week, as it is every Memorial Day weekend in New York City, meaning that each of the boroughs gets a ship that comes in from the U.S. Navy, and they're given time to go out and party, and they did, by the way, have a blast. Marines also involved, and we were at all I can tell you is we were at a place for dinner that turned into, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, they look like they're setting something up on the stage. Turns out it's an Elvis impersonator from Staten Island. So, food was great, plenty of beverages. You have officers, you have lower class naval members and Marines, and many, many women who had made their way there, and an Elvis impersonator. Wow.
Did you go toe-to-toe with him?
We just sat and watched.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
And add that. Now, this was on 45th Street, maybe. So right next door was a Broadway show, and then Broadway members came in. So you had people dancing, doing flips on the it was like a show that wasn't supposed to be, that just happened. It was just incredible. All right, a couple things to get into. Let's go to Craig Flint, meteorologist with Eyewitness News, with an update here. Wow, Craig, what beautiful weather we're looking at here, and we have seen over the weekend. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, and good morning, by the way, guys. And, so this pattern that we had over the weekend just keeps on continuing here. I talked about it a little bit last week on Eyewitness News at 6, 10, 11, that this pattern would essentially feed upon itself. So every day this week, we're going to add a degree or two to the temperatures, and we have a lot of sunshine expected. So that stands to reason that some areas, by the time we get to Thursday especially, maybe Friday will be flirting with 90 degrees.
Wow.
With a little bit of a tick up in humidity as well. So kind of feeling like midsummer around here. And right on cue, too, the unofficial start to summer being Memorial Day, and certainly going to start to feel like it this week.
So a little cooler for the weekend. Is that what I'm seeing? But when I say cooler, 78 to 80 degrees, not all that bad at all.
Yeah, no, we will see it cool off, become a little bit more comfortable Saturday. But again, I think it's going to be high and dry. There could be an isolated shower on Saturday as what we call a backdoor cold front moves through, meaning that this cold front actually is going to move in from the east as opposed to the west, which is opposite of the way weather usually works here. So that could bring a shower or thunder shower Friday, and then maybe one more isolated shower Saturday, but it will definitely be more comfortable. Also, I should note, too, with this kind of weird jet stream flow in the atmosphere right now, it's a blocking pattern. And do you remember how we've been dealing with this kind of hazy smokiness from the wildfires? That was actually originating from Alberta, Canada, based on the upper level flow. But because this southeasterly flow will be in place across the northeast here the next several days, there's actually a wildfire, which kind of a weird spot, but there's actually a wildfire burning near Halifax, Nova Scotia. And we're actually going to see a smoke plume start to build in from east to west later today. So it might actually turn a little smoky around here as we go into later today, tonight, and tomorrow morning.
I thought my neighbors had their fire pit going. I had no idea. I had no clue. All right, Ryan, interesting stuff. There's also a really interesting story of a storm that hit off the coast of South Carolina, I believe, and a Carnival cruise ship that got caught in the middle of it. And they're showing pictures of rooms destroyed, windows broken out. I mean, passengers who were on that. I mean, everybody got sick. It was just brutal. So, that storm came pretty darn close to getting a name by the Hurricane Center. It wouldn't have technically been a tropical system, though. It would have been a kind of like a hybrid system, which means it kind of acts like a hurricane tropical storm, but it's not really, technically speaking, when it comes to the definition in meteorology. But that storm
has been stuck down there all weekend long with some horrible weather in the Carolinas. So it wasn't a nice Memorial Day for those areas to the south. But, man, we just lucked out.
Yeah, we
Spoiled
did.
rotten.
No doubt. Well, everybody knows you come to upstate New York for the best weather. Isn't that what we're known for?
Yeah, well, we get great weather around here, especially in the summer.
No
we
doubt.
really do.
Craig Flint, meteorologist with WTR, thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
Have a great week. Ryan Schmelz is with Fox News, and over the last few days, despite holiday activities, McCarthy and Biden seem to be making some progress, but now the real work begins. Ryan Schmelz, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How was your Memorial Day?
We did well. I said it was Fleet Week in New York City. We were in the city for the week. Holy cow! What a weekend. Those guys know how to party when they get off ship.
Well,
Wow.
I guess the Sex and the City episode wasn't misleading after all, right?
I do not think it was. All right. How close are we? I mean, there's a deal that's basically been done, but both President Biden and McCarthy have to get this through the House to begin.
Right. Yep. The next steps here really, so there's going to be a House Rules Committee meeting where the bill's going to be discussed, and there are a couple of members to watch. You have Chip Roy of Texas, who's already come out and said that he is a hard no, as well as Ralph Norman from South Carolina. But you also have a member like Thomas Massey from Kentucky, who kind of broke with his debt ceiling pledge to vote for Speaker McCarthy's initial debt ceiling bill. He's somebody to watch today because we're not quite sure how he's going to vote on this ultimate package that's going to be discussed today. So we'll have to kind of see. And you know, if enough people vote no against this bill, then it's already dead before it even gets to the House floor. So we'll have to see.
Well, and the left, I mean, really, it's both parties have to worry right now because Democrats from the far left are also not pleased with this bill.
No, certainly. And that was something that Pramila Jayapal, who's the chair of the House Progressive Caucus, she was kind of warning that over the weekend that there are going to be members who are going to be frustrated with this bill because it goes too far. So you have members of the harder right who are saying that it doesn't go far enough to address spending reforms. But then you have those on the far left who think that some of the cuts here might be draconian. And, you know, I think one thing here that's going to frustrate them a lot is that you are going to have to see the frozen student loans that were out there for a while. Those payments are going to start up again. So certainly that's going to frustrate a lot of progressives.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Ryan, we appreciate it. We'll see where this week goes.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio. Next hour, we'll get into an issue with TikTok. There are people experts saying that TikTok is feeding teens a diet of darkness. What does that mean?
So, and what's, well, I think I know what that means. It's a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
Surgeon General now has a warning on social media, right?
Correct.
We talked about that
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
I would have to imagine that TikTok is one of the biggest offenders there that prompted that warning.
Also, this morning, Grandmaster Cliff Crandall is in studio. Excited about that. He has a women's self-defense course. That's a big deal that he wants to talk about. Listen, he has been doing this for years. He could probably put both of us into the corner.
Yeah,
we'd be whimpering.
Yeah.
Dr. Kent Hall on this morning. Also, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. There's a new restaurant in the Valley. We'll get into that. And in studio later this morning is Senator Joe Griffo to talk about what all of this means with the budget. We'll break quickly and come back. 6:46. It's Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend at WIBX.
If you're in the market for a new mattress, no one in New York State has all the brands under one roof that your brand name superstore Mattress Express has. Names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy Hybrid, Purple, Puffy, the Number Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh and Lavish, and more. Check out these Memorial Day deals. Any king or queen Tempur-Pedic or select Stearns & Foster with adjustable base, take your pick. A giant 58-inch flat screen TV or a $300 in free bedding accessories. How about this? Any king or queen set in the store, $9.99 or higher, other than Tempur-Pedic, get a free adjustable base upgrade. How about the number bed by Instant Comfort? We have the Flex Set and King or Queen, an industry-leading 25-year warranty. 5 years, no interest, no money down for qualified buyers. Then take your pick, a giant 65-inch flat screen TV, $500 prepaid gas card, or stainless steel gas grill. Go to MattressExpressNY.com or call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So it's 6:49 and Tuesday morning. So did you just do a lot of baseball over the holiday weekend? Did you?
I did no baseball.
It was a beautiful. It was nicer here than it was to the south.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. So I had a game scheduled Friday that never took place, but I didn't have anything Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Of course, Saturday was my 40th, so we had a little
happy
get-together.
birthday.
Thank you. And a cookout and a little fire after that. So I slept all day on Sunday, and I was in here early. I saw Smitty at around, 6:30 yesterday morning. But I was local, and I was hanging out at home, soaking up the sunshine.
And that sunshine, as Craig Flint has said, is going to continue through the weekend.
I actually watered the lawn last night because
I can't believe
dying.
it. I cannot believe we have brown grass already in spots.
Memorial Day weekend.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, when the sun,
Nice and loud on that, Mike Davey.
The sun was beautiful. I went to the Baseball Hall of Fame Classic game on Saturday.
Nice. Good stuff.
You know who they had? Who was the Yankee they had? Brendan
Ryan.
And
Glendon Rush was representing the Mets.
I was hoping for bigger names for the New York teams. But anyway, it's a really cool event. The attendance was down, though, huh?
Yeah, a lot of empty seats. Not a lot
It's
of
usually
people walking around in Cooperstown.
Which is it's such a shame that we will never have what we had before. I mean, we probably took it for granted, but when you had the 2 major league teams coming in, that was just such an amazing weekend. And now you have 2 weekends, and you hope them to be enormous because the induction weekend is always the biggest. But boy, it was just enormous when the major leaguers, and I know they only usually played an inning or 2, but it was awesome to have them in the stadium, right?
Yeah,
in the ballpark.
Even afterward, this event they have where they have the old timers come back and play like a Sandlot game, it would sell out. And I think Smitty was telling me that they expected when they went down there it was going to be a sellout, and they were going to be nudging people over to try to get in the bleachers, and you guys sat first baseline.
Yeah, there was nobody near to the right or left of us.
Wow. A couple of great stories out of Florida from over the weekend. A Florida woman, was pulled over after she was swerving. But I love this argument, the common law argument. So the police officer came up to her and said, can I see your license and registration? I don't need to have a license to operate a motor vehicle. It's common law.
This is the sovereign citizen?
Yes.
Oh,
I am transporting. I am not driving. I have every right to transport. It is my constitutional right. Well, not in Florida, ma'am. Not in Florida. I'm sorry. I'm in the U.S. I'm a United States citizen. I have every right.
These people are.
It did not end well for her.
Yeah. Do we have audio?
I don't, but I have one on. I have audio on this one. Another Florida woman is facing DUI charges after allegedly driving 50 miles an hour on a beach, almost hitting people, and then, you know it, drove straight into the water. Here is the accused, Sarah Ramsamy, and her passenger talking to officers about the crazy thing that happened. Here we go. Here's audio. Coming right up.
Okay, what happened?
I'm not sure. I was the driver, and they kind of stopped us, and they said that we almost hit a child. I didn't think that we did, but that's what they told us.
Yeah, well, the people are down here because you can't drive on this part of the beach.
We were just trying to turn around. We didn't think that we could do a U-turn around here, so we were just trying to keep going.
Yeah. She said so many things wrong there. Number one, immediately admitting that she was driving. Number two, a child was almost hit. I mean, by that point, and, clearly she smells of alcohol, she was arrested for DUI. Yeah. A bus driver and passenger had a wild shootout in North Carolina over the weekend after an argument over whether the passenger could get off the bus early or not. Bus driver David Fullard was fired after the incident, and Omari Tobias charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Here is the moment the two exchanged gunfire, along with the interim CEO of the bus company, Brent Cagle, talking about what happened.
If we know that someone is in possession of a weapon on our vehicles, we report that and ask for support.
Is that Ron DeSantis?
Yeah. It sounded like him, didn't it?
It did.
Okay, well, there we go. I do think that taking matters into your own hands doesn't seem to end well, oftentimes.
Correct.
Right? And comedian Ben Brainerd kicked off a debate over the best karaoke songs out there. Where's Andrew when you need him? The best karaoke songs out there when he released a TikTok with his top 5 picks. Here he is crowning, I believe this would be the top 5. So what do you think the best karaoke songs would be? You're not one of those karaoke singers.
The Just a Small Town Girl, that one. What else? Just a Small Town Girl.
Okay.
Who is that?
The way you
Living
sing
in
it.
a lonely world.
Living in a lonely world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Journey, thank you.
Yeah.
I could do better
Thank
with
you.
little.
Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
Yeah.
I'll say that one's definitely up there.
We should do a contest where I give you the lyrics and you sing the song, and they have to come up with a song title. Davey would get it every time.
Okay, let's do
I like it. Anyway, here we go with by the way, the Elvis impersonator over the weekend. Oh my God, I do have some audio.
Good or bad?
I thought he sang really well.
Okay.
But you get the situation where it seems like maybe he's been. So first of all, this was a bar restaurant. We thought it was a restaurant. The front was a restaurant, and the back was they had the stage, and we're like, they seated us in the back because we didn't have reservations. But we got in there, and we're like, it looks like there's going to be live music tonight. That's kind of cool. Had no clue Elvis was coming out.
Yeah, this was perfect for you guys.
It was just awesome. And I, as a kid, I was a huge Elvis fan. I loved Elvis. Davey loves Elvis, right?
Right.
So, but when someone is like inexperienced and they're a little nervous and maybe they're making mistakes.
You talking about Elvis or the waitress?
Elvis was making
Elvis
was awkward.
Okay.
It was kind of awkward. So he played the first song and thank you very much. And then he talked to people and thank you all for coming out here. And meanwhile, there weren't that many people there. It was kind of quiet until the Navy came in. Wow. Then the place was jam-packed by the end. I have pictures of him they're like 30 Navy guys and women. I noticed that too. A lot of naval women. It was a mixture between men and women. I thought that was really interesting. There are a lot of women in the service these days. So he's taking pictures with them at the end. He had his greatest night ever. I really believe it. But at one point, he's like, I don't know how to describe it. So he's kind of making mistakes and he's feeling awkward. So instead of self-deprecating, telling something that's maybe a little humor that's self-deprecating, he decided to pick on the band. It's like, so he moved his hips like Elvis would shake his hips, and he wanted the drummer to hit the bass drum as he did it, and the drummer didn't do it.
Yeah.
So he starts kind of yelling at the drummer, and it was that kind of awkward, I'm uncomfortable up here, but by the end of the night, he was taking pictures with everybody. And I thought he was pretty good. Next hour, I'll play a little audio.
You think it was the Navy or the Spirits that finally...
It might have been the Spirits. Anyway, here are the top 5 best karaoke songs, according to Ben Brainerd, comedian Ben Brainerd. Here we go.
Topping the chart is Kelly Clarkson's Since You've Been Gone, obviously. Number 2,
stop. Who could
Aretha
sing
Franklin,
that?
Respect. Great
Who could
song,
sing that?
even better karaoke song. Number 3, I don't really care how you feel about it in every other social situation, but Come On Eileen, objectively a good karaoke song. Number 4, this is a good middle. Don't start the day with this and do not end your night with this song, but it's a good middle song that people are gonna enjoy, and of course it's Weezer's Island in the Sun.
Are you
Rounding out this
kidding?
list right now
This
is
guy's a
controversial.
moron.
REM's It's the End of the World as We Know It.
Yeah, okay. I don't believe that he has. First of all, Aretha Franklin, bad song to do because nobody can even come close, right?
He's got a
And
Taylor
it's hard-
Swift in there,
and,
too. Or not
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.
Another one. Probably one of the greatest female singers out there. You're never going to get close to her. Those are not good karaoke songs at all, in my opinion. Andrew would tell you the number 1 karaoke song is Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, I guess so.
Neil Diamond. Or maybe you hear a lot of the Journey, Don't Stop Believing. You hear that quite a lot. Got a break. We have news straight ahead, top of the hour. And coming up next hour, as we mentioned, Dr. Kent Hall will be on. There is a virologist who is claiming that we have not seen the worst of COVID. I realize sometimes I think these people do this just to get clicks. But she says we have not seen the worst of COVID. It is still coming. We'll speak to Dr. Hall about that coming up next hour.
Those April showers could bring May hot tubs. It's about time you treat yourself to a luxurious new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their huge showroom and choose from over 100 spas in stock and priced to move fast. This summer, get ready to relax. You deserve a brand new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their ginormous showroom inside Sangertown Square, New Hartford. Special financing available for credit qualified buyers. Strong Spas. Experience the difference for yourself. Hurry, these spas won't last.
WIBX 950 Utica, Rome. W295DI Utica, Rome.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what police are doing in Hollywood, Florida.
After what was supposed to be a fun day at the beach that turned terrifying, at least 9 people were injured when police say a fight broke out on the beach boardwalk between 2 groups when at least one person pulled a gun.
I was laying down having a good time at the beach, and all of a sudden I heard like, pop, 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 like about 6, 7 shots. Everybody started running.
Thankfully, there were officers nearby that responded, and police are still investigating exactly what happened and how many people were involved.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard. There's a person of interest in custody. 4 of those injured are children, including a 1-year-old. In Davenport, Iowa, the Quad City Times reports they rescued a 9th person from the apartment building that partially collapsed Sunday. The building's so unsafe now, residents cannot go back in to get any of their stuff. There's talk of a possible demolition today. Russia has taken aim at Ukraine's capital again.
For a third straight night, Kyiv's air defense systems were called into action. Ukraine says it shot down 29 of 31 Iranian-made Shahed drones sent into the country. 1 person died and 4 were hurt when debris hit a high-rise apartment.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Russia says Moscow was also hit with a drone attack, but all were shot down. Falling debris injured 2 people. The House Rules Committee today considers advancing the raise the debt limit compromise that's divided Republicans. Congressman John Rutherford just told Fox he's a yes.
For the first time in history, Congress will actually spend less year over year.
Taking non-defense spending to 2022 levels. But sitting next to him, Congressman Mike Waltz is a no because
it needs to take us back to 19 because 22 locks in all of those big COVID increases.
The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
We're not satisfied. We're excited. We're happy. But we got 4 more to get.
Jimmy Butler led Miami to a 103-84 Game 7 win on TNT over the Boston Celtics. The Heat advanced to play the Denver Nuggets for the championship. America's listening to Fox News.
You've heard me discuss how my everyday aches and pains were affecting my daily life before I started taking Relief Factor. You've also heard me talk to you about how my friends and family have found relief from their aches and pains with Relief Factor. Well, let me tell you about Gary from California. Gary says, I cannot thank you enough. I am 62 years old and have just started taking Relief Factor. I've never felt better and will recommend Relief Factor to all my baby boomer friends. Well, thanks for writing, Gary. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for only $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Mostly sunny skies, 57 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service, celebrating 70 years in business, 3 generations, and counting. Visit them at clintontractor.net. A historic hotel in the Adirondacks was ravaged by fire over the weekend. The Big Moose Inn in the town of Webb was heavily damaged by that fire on Saturday night. A GoFundMe page has been established and quickly exceeded its goal twice. An initial goal was set at $35,000, then raised to $50,000. As of this morning, that page had raised over $52,000. An Oneida County correction officer stationed at the Oneida County Jail is now himself facing charges. Sheriff Rob Maciel says 31-year-old Jacob Mayo was arrested after an investigation determined that he entered required inmate supervision tours in a facility log, but never actually conducted any of those tours. An investigation was initiated after an incident occurred within a unit he was supposed to tour. The sheriff's deputy was deposed regarding the incident. He now faces charges including falsifying a business record and making a punishable false written statement, both of which are misdemeanors. Syracuse police continuing to look into 4 shootings that occurred over the weekend. A 44-year-old man was shot in the chest last night, taken to the hospital and listed in critical condition. Another 44-year-old man also hit by gunfire near Bellevue Ave. He was treated for non-life-threatening leg injuries. Anyone with information on those shootings is asked to contact police. An Americade gets underway in Lake George today, and that means a lot of motorcycles rolling across central New York. Motorcycle enthusiasts from around the country will be taking part in the popular festival that runs through Sunday. A complete list of events is posted online at Americade.com. More nice weather on tap as we dip into the, I shouldn't say dip, we reach into the mid to upper 80s this week. Here's your forecast.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, mostly sunny, warm. Could be a little smoky haze to the sky this afternoon, high 82. Tonight, mostly clear, comfortable, near 50. And tomorrow, mostly sunny once again, very warm, slightly more humid, high of 86. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Right now, sunshine and 57 degrees at 7:06.
In sports, the NBA Finals matchup is now set. The Western Conference champion Denver Nuggets will take on the Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat for the NBA title. Miami cruised to a 103-84 win over the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the East Finals at TD Garden. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets will host Jimmy Butler and the Heat for Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Thursday night at Ball Arena. The Golden Knights are moving on to the Stanley Cup Final. Las Vegas blew out the Stars 6-0 in the Western Conference Finals from Dallas. Aiden Hill stopped all 23 shots to earn the shutout. The Florida Panthers swept the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Finals to advance. The puck drops for Game 1 in Las Vegas on Saturday. The Yankees' winning streak is up to 3 games after blowing out the Mariners 10-4 in their series opener in Seattle. Domingo Germán picked up the victory after striking out 4 batters while allowing just 4 runs over 6 1/3 innings. For the Mets, they're back in Flushing to start a 6-game homestead in New York. They are hosting the Philadelphia Phillies tonight at Citi Field. The Mets will be looking to snap their 2-game skid. For right-hander Kadai Senga is expected to make his 10th start of the season. I'm Devin Furbo for WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
The Mets over the weekend had it was an offensive, like they were breaking season records for offense. But then again, so was Denver. The ball was just flying out of there.
Yeah, so Saturday night's game, I actually had a fire going, and because the game was on PIX, if you have a digital antenna, you know.
Right.
So I just hooked up my digital antenna in the backyard and ran it to a TV. So I had the game on. Now they're down 6-0. They come back and they're up 7-6, and then they lose 10-7. Sunday would they lose 11-10. And how do the Mets not play on Memorial Day?
Couldn't
Did the
believe
Yankees
that.
play
Yeah.
yesterday?
I could not believe that.
Yankees did play yesterday.
Yeah.
I remember last year, and it was a shocker to me. Yankees did not have a game on Memorial Day or on
4th of July. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it that in America's pastime, America's team doesn't play on those major holidays when people are cooking out?
Don't know. Don't have any idea, but I think the Mets needed the break.
Yeah, probably.
Used
Well,
a lot of
now we got
pitchers.
Philly, so it's divisional games.
It's going to
We
be
need win 'em.
interesting. Got a break. Coming up this hour, Dr. Ken Hall will do Grandmaster Cliff Crandall this morning. And our free money question of the day, a chance for you to win from the Hobica Law Firm in WIBX, 708 on WIBX.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
In the June primary, Rome Mayor Jackie Izzo was running to keep steady strategic leadership working for Rome. Like 6 years and counting with no tax increase, $70 million in grant funding, $325 million in public and private sector investment, plus dozens of economic development victories, all while maintaining an A-plus financial rating. Beginning with early voting on June 17th, vote for the only endorsed Republican candidate. Vote Mayor Jackie Izzo for Rome. Leadership that's working. Paid for by friends of Jackie Izzo.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Are you in the market for a vehicle that's like new but don't want to break the bank? Look no further than GM certified pre-owned vehicles at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. With rates as low as 1.9% on select models, you can find new roads without the high price tag. Check out the 2022 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 with only 3,000 miles, or the 2022 Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive with rates as low as 2.49%. And with a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, you can drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. So why wait? Visit us online anytime at SteetPawneeChevy.com to browse our complete inventory and take advantage of these amazing deals. This inventory won't last long. Steet Pawnee Chevrolet on Route 28 in Herkimer. See why it's always easy to do business at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership. The love of singing, incredible talent, and dedication to a passion for music define the greatest female vocalists of all time. Girl Singer is a buoyant musical tribute to them, showcasing amazingly talented local female singers that electrify the stage with these same qualities. For 2 weekends only, June 2nd through the 4th and June 8th through the 11th, Players of Utica presents Girl Singer, a tribute. It's a surefire musical hit featuring vocal stylings ranging from pop to blues to country western, to soul, to classics. You know the songs, and now hear them live on stage like you've never heard them before. Sponsored by New Hartford Eye Associates. That's June 2nd through the 4th and June 8th through the 11th. Get your tickets for Girl Singer at playersofutica.org. Call 315-724-7624 today.
Senior and student tickets are available with proper ID at both the evening and matinee performances.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Hey, listen, if you have severe back pain or shoulder pain or any type of pain, there is help out there. You don't have to live with the pain. Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center in Utica. My dad recently went through debilitating back pain, which prevents sleep, it prevents appetite, et cetera, et cetera. Dr. Hyder was incredible and strategic. I received a non-surgical injection treatment from Dr. Hyder, and the pain was almost eliminated. I describe it as nothing short of a miracle. If you have pain, go to killpain.com. You don't have to live with the pain. Killpain.com, the Omni Surgery Center. Call today. Omni Surgery Center, located on French Road and the Business Park in Utica. Call 315-765-8448, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, in studio right now is Cliff Crandall, Grandmaster Cliff Crandall. Good morning. How are you?
Morning to
Good
you.
morning.
I'm doing quite well. Mornings have never been my thing, as you know. We've touched base many years.
Yes.
And mornings aren't my thing. I'm an owl, not a robin.
Listen,
Same here.
I am the same way, but somehow I've worked this job.
Yeah, I don't know how
my
you've
whole
done
life.
it. It's amazing.
Craziness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's
So
great to be here.
You're still, you not only what you do is you help people get the most out of life, but you also have programs that help protect people, and that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Today we're dealing with that. My Still Alive and Kicking is still
Love that
alive
concept.
and kicking.
Yeah.
Thank you. Doing tons of stuff with it. But for over 50 years, almost 60 years now, I've been working self-defense aspects for all ages and genders. And the bottom line is that it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
It's still complicated. It's still an issue. And we're offering a couple of women's self-defense classes. We're going to probably have more than 4 or 5 of them throughout the summer. We have 2 of them set up now for June. And a women's self-defense class is worth taking. And a lot of people don't really grasp the fact women are targets. Whether we like it or not, women are targets. If you're walking down the street on the right side, let's say, and a woman's walking down on the left side, and there's a predator that's going to assault somebody, she's the choice.
Yeah.
Now, she may be able to defend herself perfectly. She may
Right.
be very strong, very quick and
Yeah.
agile, but still, she's the choice. And women's self-defense classes do what's really necessary. It doesn't teach you how to fight. It arms the mind with some choices.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's what is your plan? This summer, we're going to be doing our first Refuse to be a Victim programs from the National Rifle Association. Their national, actually international program, which was designed by women, is a 3 to 4 hour program that simply helps you design a plan for being secure in your home, when you're out shopping, when you're traveling, that's the bottom line: is do you have a plan? And people don't.
So let me ask you this: you mentioned the National Rifle Association. I wanted to know if any of your self-defense mechanisms or thinking for women involved, I don't know, mace, a key knife, maybe even a pistol.
The Refuse to Be a Victim program doesn't involve any guns whatsoever or any knives. There are some aspects of mace and sprays, but honestly, in the women's self-defense programs we do, I really steer people away from that.
Yeah.
You know how much time it takes you to get your hand in your pocket, in your purse, or reach and get that out, and you're already under stress.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to be able to react. You need to be able to respond, and your brain may be the most complicated and most powerful computer in the world, but if it doesn't have the program, it can't solve the problem.
Yeah.
And all you need is information on how to escape. When you're grabbed, if you can set yourself free, not hit the other person, it's not about violence, it's not about hurting somebody else, it's about you going home to your loved ones and not being hurt. It's about you not going to the hospital. The bottom line is about you being safe. And a simple escape technique, and there's like 4 or 5 that are very basic, that if you practice them, they will happen automatically.
Yeah.
You'll have muscle memory, you'll respond, person will grab you, you'll be free, and the odd thing is, they're surprised, so you have time to run. And that's a great self-defense skill.
Right.
I mean, running is great. Now, in these women's self-defense classes of all ages, there are so many things that a woman can do from being in their 20s to being in their 60s. There are things you can do.
Are there things? Do you talk about the things that you can do to prevent yourself from even getting in that situation?
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And that really is a target. And thank you, because it's about being aware.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly,
There's always someone out there.
Always.
I mean,
Always.
even if there isn't, you have to have that mentality.
There is.
Yeah.
And they pick a spot where it isn't going to be seen. It isn't going to be filmed. It isn't going to be identified by other people, which means if you can just get free and move your body 8 feet, you are probably in visual line of somebody else that can assist you and help you. So it's about being alert, being aware, not being in that situation in the first place. And then if you are moving just far enough that you can change the surroundings of what the attacker chose. Yeah. So there's so much that can be done. It's amazing.
Right, because you don't think about it, but that attacker has chosen that exact location as, I don't want to say safe, but safe for them.
For them.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, assailants get arrested and then get released,
especially today.
Again and again and again.
Yeah.
And each time they get arrested, they become more intelligent about what they're about to do. Everybody, they're human beings. They get smarter.
Right.
And they figure out a safer, much more secluded way of assaulting somebody.
Right. Yeah.
People say, I tell them, I say, you need to be aware all of the time. And people say, well, I can't do that all of the time. And I say, well, you're smarter than a rabbit.
Right.
A bunny rabbit is on alert every single moment of their life. They're on alert when they eat. They're on alert when they move. They're on alert when they raise a family. They're on alert when they make their nests, when they're everything. They're always on alert because they're prey. And everything wants to get them. cats,
Yeah.
foxes, everything.
I've tried to get them away from a plant that I don't want them eating, and they'll come back to it, but they always are always very alert and very
They know,
Yeah.
and we should be that alert.
Yeah.
We have the ability and the intelligence to be that alert. I grant you, we are still, unless you're swimming in the deep ocean, we're still at the top of the food chain. But the fact is, the people that are hunting us are also at the top of the food chain.
Right.
It's
right.
other humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a book?
This one of the books that, and we've done very well over the years, that we make available. I'm going to leave this with you. This is Women's Self-Defense in a Changing World. And in this, there's a preventative awareness, and this is one of the things that we have available as a guide for women when they take the women's self-defense classes.
Yeah.
One of our women's self-defense classes is going to be in the Oneida Family YMCA on June 15th.
Okay.
All right, that's going to be one of them. And then we have one on June 17th, which is a Saturday at the American Martial Arts Institute. But you have to pre-register for both of them.
Okay, all right.
If you call the American Martial Arts Institute at 315-768-1859, you can pre-register for that one because there is a cutoff as far as the numbers that we take in. And the same.
It's a
with
one-day event, right? Both of them. It's not like you got to go
No,
multiple times.
it's actually an hour and a half.
Okay.
An hour and a half. Now, the Refuse to be a Victim national program that we offer takes 3 hours. But these women's self-defense programs, you can walk out of there with a program in your mind for your awareness and for escape techniques, for something you can do. You can develop and have a plan.
Yeah. Having that plan.
That plan makes
so
a
important.
difference.
Yeah. Again, what number do they call?
At the Oneida Family YMCA, they're going to call 315-363-7788. And at the American Martial Arts Institute, they're going to call 315-768-1859. And we look to have you there. We look to make a difference in your life.
Nice.
And have you have that feeling of comfort.
Yeah.
Yep, that feeling of security, empowerment that allows you to get through the day and enjoy this wonderful life we have.
Grandmaster Cliff Crandall, thank you. Been all over the world, and we're lucky to have you right here.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll break quickly. Dr. Ken Hall coming right up. Stand by. It's 724 WIBX.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and the last time I was up at WIBX with the Keeler Show, when I wasn't shutting down hecklers in the comedy club, I was learning all about Bill and Robin Monjo and their amazing philosophy of buying and selling homes at River Hills Properties. Folks, when you list your home with River Hills, you're getting an extra level of service it is not available with other agencies. And I, for one, can't imagine having people I don't know wandering through my home when I'm not there. It's bad enough I've got Lincoln throwing his keg parties when I'm on the road. But also, that's the way houses are sold up in Utica, but not with River Hills. Your River Hills listing agent is there every time your house is shown. They turn the lights on, they answer questions, and they make sure no one's going through your medicine cabinet. It happens. Trust me, I've done it to a few people. Not proud. But seriously, list your home with River Hills Properties and reduce your stress level. It's like having a personal assistant to oversee the sale of your home. So why wouldn't you list with River Hills? What the heck's wrong with you? If you're even thinking about selling your home, call my friends at River Hills Properties, serving Utica, Rome, the Valley, and the North Country. Call 315-896-1009. And remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Tell them Jimmy Fallon told you to call.
On Thursday, June 1st, the Rome Capitol Theater presents the Linda Ronstadt Experience. The Linda Ronstadt Experience features 2016 American Idol finalist Tristan McIntosh with a 6-piece band. Singer-songwriter Sydney Irving opens the show at 7:30. The Linda Ronstadt Experience, Thursday, June 1st at the Rome Capitol Theater. Get your advance sale tickets today. Brought to you by Gunther Wealth Management.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, Joe, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Cannot believe the amazing weather that we're about to be, well, not about to, that we have been experiencing.
Yeah.
And wasn't it just a week ago we were dealing with a frost?
Yeah.
Now it's so hot, your lawn is starting to turn brown, and we're not even out of May yet. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, we've had a great run. When was the last time we had rain of any significance? I can't even remember. I feel like we're on 3 weeks of every day. It's basically mostly sunny. You occasionally get a threat of an afternoon pop-up shower and thunderstorm. We did have the frost, but even those days where we had the lows in the mid-30s overnight, we were still up to 75, 65. I guess there were a couple days where it was a little cooler, but still sunny and 65. I'll take it.
On the line right now from MVHS, the one and only Dr. Kent Hall. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
You know, as my mother always says, it's these temperatures going up and down. That's what makes us sick. I'm not sure that's really true, but we seem to be getting consistently warm right now.
Yes, we are. It is really nice. And, you know, back in January and February, we were looking for this kind of weather, and now we've got it.
So I wanted to, somebody had piped in a quick question about, is it C. diff? That there has been an outbreak of C. diff. Do you know anything about that?
So C. diff is its full name is Clostridium difficile. It is a bacteria that causes significant GI problems, especially diarrhea, and in certain populations can actually be life-threatening. It can cause significant inflammation of the colon, which can result in actually can result ultimately in sepsis and in death. So it is something that we take seriously. It is something that is often caused by use of or certain exposure to certain antibiotics. What happens is that the antibiotics change the normal bacteria that are in your gut, and it allows C. diff to basically overgrow. And in certain circumstances, like I said, people that are vulnerable to it, it can cause significant infections.
Okay. Obviously, how do you prevent? Just basic washing hands, that sort of thing? How do you prevent it?
Yeah, so first and foremost, you want to make sure that you're only taking antibiotics when they are absolutely required to fight a bacterial infection. And then if you have somebody that has unfortunately gotten C. diff, then what you want to do is good hand hygiene, obviously not sharing utensils or food or anything like that. Basically it's what your mom told you always, not about the weather, about the temperatures going up and down, but about washing your hands and good hygiene.
Manaski.
I have a question here. This comes from Ann about sunscreen. I don't want to jump to it. Were you done with the C. diff or C?
Yeah.
So ask Dr. Hall
I've been done with it for quite some time.
About checking sunscreen. If expired, you should toss and buy fresh. I think you can get sun poisoning from expired sunscreen. That is from Ann in Rome. Can you react to that, Doc?
Yeah, so So the expiration date on a lot of things, including sunscreen, is really the date beyond or at which they will guarantee 100% effectiveness. So the effectiveness does decline. I can't specifically speak to how quickly it declines for sunscreen, but in general, it is not like it falls off a cliff and it goes from being 100% effective to 0% effective. It is a gradual decline. So, can you use it? Yes. Would I recommend it because you're really not getting the full protection that you think you are? I would not recommend it. I really would recommend going out and getting something that has not yet expired.
This comes from FX in New Hartford. Federal and state vaccine mandates have now been lifted. There are no restrictions on the rehiring of fired healthcare workers. Does MVHS intend to rehire some of those who did not have a vaccine mandate?
Yeah, so we are watching that closely. The federal has expired. The state has not yet expired. They've started the process for it, but it needs to go through a process. So we are watching that closely because we really want to react as quickly as possible in order to get as many people back working as will want to come back.
So one virologist out there, and most are saying the exact opposite, and sometimes I wonder, there's always this lone scientist or lone physician out there saying the opposite of what everybody else is saying. But she says the worst of the pandemic is still ahead of us, while the majority of people say just the opposite. What is your take, and what is the risk? What could happen?
Yeah, so first of all, everybody is looking through a crystal ball, and they're all pretty foggy. Is it possible that this virus could evolve and mutate into something that is actually more deadly? Yes, it's possible. Is it likely? Based on past history with other viruses, it is not really likely. So I have read some of these kind of clarion calls of, oh my gosh, we have to be ready. I would argue that I think that they're right in the intent, but probably wrong in the message. I'm not concerned about, COVID evolving into something that's going to cause more damage. What I am concerned about is that we tend to get really hyped up when something is right in our face, and then we tend to kind of let it slide away from us, and our attention is diverted to other things. What I would hope is that what this pandemic has taught us is that we really need to invest in our community health protections and our infection prevention measures and things like that, without necessarily raising the alarm of, oh my gosh, something terrible is going to happen. Something terrible. We will see another pandemic. The human race will see another pandemic. I cannot tell you when that's going to be. We saw it in 2017. Or in 1917. We saw it in 2019. Is it every 100 years? Unknown. We saw H1N1 in 2009. So, these things happen, and the more prepared we are, the fewer people will get sick, the fewer people will die. So I'm not going to, raise the clarion bell of, oh my gosh, we haven't seen the worst of this. If I were a betting man, I would bet that COVID is going to kind of fade into the background and be something that we have to deal with on an ongoing basis, but not a calamitous thing.
Okay. And anything new to report on on getting ready for the big move this fall?
No, we are really looking forward to it. If you ask Bob Schofield, he can tell you exactly how many days it is. We are full steam ahead, and I will tell you that everything that's not related to taking care of patients in the Mohawk Valley Health System is related to getting ready to move into the WIM.
All right. Dr. Kent Hall, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Please have a great day, and please be safe.
All right. You do the same.
Thank you.
I want to break. We'll do the FICA free money question of the day coming up. Congratulations from New York Sash out there today to Debbie Money of Rome, who entered our their Memorial Day grill giveaway. And we talked about that all last week. She is the one who won the Weber Grill. Debbie Money of Rome. She gets a brand new Weber Grill.
Debbie Money.
From New York Sash. When you have a name like Debbie Money, you know you're in the money. Or something like that. Sorry, Debbie. Meanwhile, the Memorial Day celebration of 20% off windows, doors, and baths is extended until 1 p.m. today. New York Sash has locked in those savings until 1 p.m. today. You can call the showroom. You can visit them online or go into the showroom on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. It's the final chance to save 20% off during New York Sash's Salute to Memorial Day. Take advantage of the sale to flip that outdated tub and shower to a brand new, easy-to-clean acrylic bath system, or replace your old or inefficient windows and doors with new, easy-to-use and energy-efficient windows and doors from New York Sash. It ends today at 1 p.m., 20% off windows, doors, and baths at New York Sash. Davey, let's do the free money question here this morning, and the number you're looking for is
5.
He put so much into this.
I know.
You know, we appreciate that, Davey. Caller 5, fifth caller through the lines. Chance for you to win $100 from Hobica and WIBX.
A Mohawk Valley tradition returns on Friday, June 16th, when the WIBX Heart Radiothon goes live from Accelerate Sports. Doctors from radio sponsor Slocum Dixon Medical Group will share ways we can stay healthy. You'll hear from treadmill challengers as they face off against each other, and Red Cap ambassadors to America's greatest heart run and walk will remind us why we support the American Heart Association. Of course, there'll be special incentives to thank you for your donations. Be sure and tune in Friday, June 16th.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Those April showers could bring May hot tubs. It's about time you treat yourself to a luxurious new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their huge showroom and choose from over 100 spas in stock and priced to move fast. This summer, get ready to relax. You deserve a brand new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their ginormous showroom inside Sangertown Square, New Hartford. Special financing available for credit qualified buyers. Strong Spas. Experience the difference for yourself. Hurry, these spas won't last.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and the last time I was up at WIBX with the Keeler Show, when I wasn't shutting down hecklers in the comedy club, I was learning all about Bill and Robin Monjo and their amazing philosophy of buying and selling homes at River Hills Properties. Folks, when you list your home with River Hills, you're getting an extra level of service it is not available with other agencies. And I, for one, can't imagine having people I don't know wandering through my home when I'm not there. It's bad enough I've got Lincoln throwing his keg parties when I'm on the road. But also, that's the way houses are sold up in Utica, but not with River Hills. Your River Hills listing agent is there every time your house is shown. They turn the lights on, they answer questions, and they make sure no one's going through your medicine cabinet. It happens. Trust me, I've done it to a few people. Not proud. But seriously, list your home with River Hills Properties and reduce your stress level. It's like having a personal assistant to oversee the sale of your home. So why wouldn't you list with River Hills? What the heck's wrong with you? If you're even thinking about selling your home, call my friends at River Hills Properties, serving Utica, Rome, the Valley, and the North Country. Call 315-896-1009. And remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Tell them Jimmy Fallon told you to call.
On Thursday, June 1st, the Rome Capitol Theater presents the Linda Ronstadt Experience. The Linda Ronstadt Experience features 2016 American Idol finalist Tristan McIntosh with a 6-piece band. Singer-songwriter Sydney Irving opens the show at 7:30. The Linda Ronstadt Experience, Thursday, June 1st at the Rome Capitol Theater. Get your advance sale tickets today. Brought to you by Gunther Wealth Management.
From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products and online shops, it's all under one new roof at Max's Print Shop in Marcy. Order anytime and any quantity in person or online at maxsprintshop.com. Since 1978, we pride ourselves on personally meeting every customer's need. We can take your project from design to production. And remember, Max's Print Shop will stitch anything. And we mean anything in the Utica, Rome area. Find us at 9555 River Road in Marcy or online at maxsprintshop.com.
WIBX 950 and 1069 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, Davey, I lost our caller here. I'll take the first person through. Have him call back or the first person through, and we'll give him a chance to win $100 right now from the Hobica Law Firm, 315-736-0186. I wanted to tell you that we saw this Elvis impersonator over the weekend. You be the judge. You're
Okay.
and Davey, you're a big Elvis, right?
Yes, he is. He's a big Elvis fan.
Just say yes.
Oh, he's
I don't
nodding
know
in
why.
there.
I've got the wrong pot up. Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. And you really are. You're a huge Elvis fan. Listen to the impersonator. You tell me if he's any good. Here we go. Kind of a bad audio. Kind of bad audio. Vanessa, you want to see him? Quick, run over here.
Oh, yeah,
quick. This is doing the song I Got a Woman.
He looks to me more like...
What do you think, Davey?
He looks to me
You
more
don't
like...
him. You'd have loved him if you were there. That's a terrible recording. It's bad.
What's the TV show? That's not that 70s show with Joni and Chachi. The Fonz.
Yeah, little Arthur.
He looks like
Fonzarelli.
he looks more like the Fonz than he does Elvis.
Got a little. I thought that's probably a bad picture. He was really good. Who'd you get me? Is it? This is Bill in Stittville. Hello, Bill. Good morning, Bill in Stittville. How you doing?
Good. How about you, Bill?
Good. You ready to take a shot here?
Kind of looked like Eddie Munster all grown up too.
He did a little bit. I swear to God, he looked much better when he came out with the jumpsuit Elvis. Is what he called it. You don't call it the fat Elvis. Apparently, that's not cool. He called it the jumpsuit Elvis, and he looked much better and sounded much better.
Well, I have to say, if I was ever impersonating Elvis, the fat Elvis would be more my style.
I had never been to an Elvis impersonation show, but it was actually, we had a blast. It was really something, and all those Navy guys and women had a blast. Let me tell you. All right, Bill, let's give you a chance to win Hobica's free money question of the day. It's worth $100 in cash from Joseph and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600. Are you ready?
Yes.
Easy question. This is easy. If you paid attention this weekend, you'd nail it. Here it is. This weekend, HBO Max completely rebranded themselves. They changed their name to what? Ready, go.
Geez, I don't know. I was outside all weekend.
Go with one. Just pick something.
HBO Them.
This is us. No, they've switched to it's just Max now. And if you have it, you have to you got to put in your credentials all over again. I hate that. You got to put your name in, your password. You don't even know where the password is. It's now known as Max. Well, Listen, I'm going to give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card good at Aquavino Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, or any of the concession stands at Nexus or at the Odd. Also today at Cookie's Q and Creamery, right here at Palm Springs and Marcy, and on North Genesee Street. It's 2 for Tuesday. 2 hot dogs, $2 all day today. You could walk away with a ton of them. So take advantage of that, Bill. Stand by, and Davey is going to hook you up. Thank you, Bill. All right, Davey, thank Bill. We asked this earlier, and if you're following, I don't know, I don't necessarily see this, but I guess it's if you're digging into negative things. They're saying the warning came out from the Surgeon General, beware of social media. And in this case, the TikTok is feeding teenagers with a diet of darkness. On the line right now is Dr. Dean Beckloff. Doc, I haven't seen any. My wife's watching like all these things on Taylor Swift and all of that, but somehow teenagers are getting very negative material. What's happening here?
Well, if you know something about TikTok, which I don't have TikTok on my phone, I'm a little concerned about, security.
Sure.
So, but, if you hover over something just slightly, it's going to feed you a whole lot more of it. And the problem that is coming out in the research is that too many teens are being exposed to a lot of ideas that are not good for them, like suicidal thinking, body image issues, having a steady diet of, things like suicide, and I don't measure up, which is what someone said just recently. I don't measure up. What teens don't feel that way?
Right.
The idea of teenagers is, how can I measure up? So, yeah.
So first of all, the parents should be keeping an eye. If you have young children, any social media platform is probably not the place for them to be.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents. Someone just remarked that they'll be in a dining place, and everybody in the family's got their phones up, including the parents. And parents are going to have to lead. I mean, obviously, I was a parent of teenagers, and they pretended and acted like they didn't want to talk to me or hear anything. But I think we have to step up to the plate and begin sharing some things that we need to share. It's very important that parents are telling their teens that, we're all vulnerable. We can all hear messages. When I was a teenager, we never heard about cutting, for example. Now, lots of teens are cutting. We work with teens at our facility, and, teens are cutting because it's out there.
Cutting is what? Cutting is just cutting themselves and mutilating themselves?
Yeah. Cutting. I hate to say razor blades, but anything that can cut into the skin and cause bleeding. Kind of gross, but sorry.
And then you say you found evidence that teens who developed physical tics after watching repeated TikTok videos. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're exposed to it, it's an automatic thing to think, maybe that's me. Whenever I was taking my first psychology courses, they warned us, you will be exposed to something, and everybody starts thinking, well, maybe I've got that. You have to be aware that that is not true. And I think that's going to be the thing that we can pass on to our teenagers. And I'm so sorry, but I've got to get off.
All right. Well, listen, Doc, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yep. Dr. Dean Beckhoff. I don't know. Do you have TikTok?
No, I don't.
My wife is a TikTok person.
She's a TikToker?
Does
she make videos?
TikTok. She does. I don't think she makes them. Davey, do you have TikTok? And Devin, do you have TikTok?
I do.
Okay. So when you're listening to a bunch of, you're as a college student, and first of all, you're a college student, which is different than a 12-year-old with TikTok. And there are plenty of situations, I think, out there where a kid may be targeted, negative things. Kids can be mean, right? Kids can be mean.
Yeah.
However, usually what TikTok is if you're looking for funny videos about whatever, once you watch the first one, it feeds you with something similar, and that algorithm, am I correct? It just keeps feeding and you do. It is addictive because you want to see what the next one is, and it draws you in.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the kids walking away with ticks after. I've never seen kids wanting to cut themselves up. I almost feel like we're going down a road like we did back in the 60s and 70s when we said, you're playing that Beatles music. It's gonna turn our kids to Satan. Elvis, dancing. It's bad for our children. I mean, I think we're over-scaring people here
it's
a little bit.
There's this small group that just gives it a bad light. So
there may be
I think there's that stuff on there.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
I think if you search for that, you're going to be fed more of that stuff. Now the platform should be responsible enough to say if it's dangerous to people, maybe it shouldn't be a part of their platform. But I've never seen anything other than stuff that makes my wife laugh on TikTok.
Well, so there have been things, though, and I'm not a TikToker, as I said, but for instance, Angelo, our former intern, does a lot of hilarious stuff on TikTok. But there have been things like the Benadryl Challenge, the Blackout Challenge, which you may remember. Is that the NyQuil Chicken Challenge? And is there also where the kids were eating the Tide Pods? Is that where that originated?
Yeah. But I mean,
your wife wouldn't fall for that. The NyQuil chicken. She wouldn't be like, Bill.
She did eat the Tide Pods. I will tell you that.
I bought you these chicken breasts, and we put some Robitussin on the grill.
She walked into the laundry room the other day, and the bubbles were coming out of her mouth. It was unbelievable. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she said, "These Tide Pods don't taste good like I thought they would." I get it, right? I mean, there are people who are vulnerable, but at the end of the day, it's no more dangerous than anything else. I hate to be this person to be on the other side of this, but I just think this whole thing about trying to say that TikTok is going to make you cut yourself or your kid's going to walk away with a tick is ridiculous. If your kid's 14, 15 years old, we probably should be keeping an eye on whatever platform they're on, not just TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
and the
completely
mean,
agree.
Bullying and giving them ideas to do mean things. Most of the cases that we know of where somebody did something. Remember the woman who was actually texting the girl on Facebook or whatever platform it was, telling her she should kill herself, and ultimately the kid killed herself.
Mm-hmm.
The bullying and the pressuring of kids, that stuff happens in person and on social media. I just don't know that and I don't have. I guess I do have TikTok because every once in a while, who's a big TikTok person? It'll shock you. Paul Buckley's always sending me TikTok videos. He sent me a hilarious. It was from Mad TV. I think he sent it to you too. It was a parody of what the real ending was going to, the alternative ending to Wizard of Oz. Hilariously funny. You have it in your messages because he sent it to both of us. But at the end of the day, are we really, is this the most dangerous thing in the world for us to worry about? Just keep an eye on your kids. Keep an eye on your grandkids. Don't let them go willy-nilly off on the web because it can get pretty dark.
I think there can be some psychological consequences, and as long as they stay off the challenges, the Tide Pods, and all that other stuff, I do think it's just another form of entertainment.
In New York City this weekend, I want to tell you, we went to a restaurant. There were 5 of us at the table. Every one of us, and I looked around, every one of us had our faces in our cell phones.
Yeah.
Sitting around looking at the cell phone. Now, I do want to be fair and let you know that that's how the menu was being distributed. They didn't have a paper menu. They wanted you to look it up on your phone. So there's how that's why we were all looking at our phones.
That's fair.
These should just be reminders of being human, reminding people to just be human, not scaring the daylights out of people.
Can we also have some TikTok videos with people like me who just turned 40 reminding 16, 17, 20-year-olds that these are the greatest days of your life, and if you don't have fun with them now and don't be an idiot with them, you'll be 40 going, damn, I wish I was 18 again.
Yeah, man, if you knew then what you know now, just imagine.
Exactly.
Just imagine what you could accomplish. Got a break. Coming up, news, top of the hour. Senator Griffel coming up next hour. Also, a brand new restaurant in the Valley is worth talking about. Been there. The food is really good. I've also been to previous restaurants owned by this restaurateur. And I would expect nothing less than wonderful. We'll get into it coming up next hour at WIBX.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
Local news updates on demand.
The source I can trust.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your week in local news happens here.
It's the topics that matter to me.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome. W295DI Utica, Rome. Your news, talk, and sports leader. A Town Square media station.
A manhunt for gunmen. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's in Hollywood, Florida, where a day at the beach got scary.
I just hear like, bah, 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 like 6, 7 shots. People start running and I start dodging down.
After a fight between 2 groups led to gunfire.
A wife and a husband got shot. Also, the wife got shot in the leg and the husband was just cradling her.
9 people were injured, 4 of them kids, including a 1-year-old. 1 person is in custody. Russia went on the attack again in Ukraine, launching drones a 3rd day in a row at the capital, Kyiv. All but 2 were shot down. A woman who went onto her balcony to see what was happening was killed by falling debris. There were also drone strikes in Russia.
People in Moscow woken up by explosions early on Tuesday, with video on social media showing further evidence of the attack. I heard a deafening bang, says this man, like a bolt of lightning. Russia's defense ministry says all 8 drones were shot down.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The House Rules Committee will today consider advancing the raise the debt limit deal to stave off a looming default next week. President Biden worked it out with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who has angered some fellow Republicans like Congressman Ralph Norman, who tells Fox.
It was his words that said debt is the single biggest threat to America. Not only did he not fight, he surrendered the details of our bill.
Norman's on the rules panel will try to block the plan he says doesn't cut spending far enough and allows for even more debt. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, now running for president, has his first campaign event today in the first contest state, Iowa, the day before the frontrunner rallies there, former President Trump. Asa Hutchinson, who's far back in the Republican race, just told Fox.
Everybody who jumps into the race is saying Donald Trump is not the one to lead our future as a party or as the nation.
A lot of Americans went somewhere for Memorial Day. The TSA reports airport passenger screenings topped the holiday weekend pre-COVID 2019 with nearly 10 million. America's listening to Fox News.
You've heard me discuss how my everyday aches and pains were affecting my daily life before I started taking Relief Factor. You've also heard me talk to you about how my friends and family have found relief from their aches and pains with Relief Factor. Well, let me tell you about Gary from California. Gary says, I cannot thank you enough. I am 62 years old and have just started taking Relief Factor. I've never felt better and will recommend Relief Factor to all my baby boomer friends. Well, thanks for writing, Gary. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for only $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
We have mostly sunny skies and a warm start. We are up to 61 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by My Carl's. Shop My Carl's today for the lowest prices, no credit needed financing, and fast same-day delivery in the New Hartford Shopping Center and Destiny, USA. A historic hotel in the Adirondacks ravaged by fire over the holiday weekend. The Big Moose Inn in the town of Webb was heavily damaged by a fire on Saturday night. A GoFundMe page has been established and quickly exceeded its goal twice. An initial goal was set at $35,000, then raised to $50,000. As of this morning, it had raised more than $52,000. Syracuse police are continuing to look into 4 shootings that occurred over the weekend that left several people injured. A 44-year-old man was shot in the chest last night, taken to the hospital where he is listed in critical condition. Another 44-year-old man was also hit by gunfire near Bellevue Ave and was treated for a non-life-threatening leg injury. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says that a corrections officer in the jail is now facing charges. Sheriff Rob Maciel says 31-year-old Jacob Mayo was arrested after an investigation determined that he entered required inmate supervision tours in a facility log, but never actually conducted any of those tours that he was assigned. An investigation was initiated after an incident occurred within the unit, and the sheriff's deputy was deposed. They used facility surveillance video during the investigation. Mayo faces 2 misdemeanor charges of falsifying business records in the second degree and making a punishable false written statement. Well, a big week this week. It is Americade in central New York. That's going on in the capital region. I've kind of lost my info here. The search still underway for a man involved in an incident at a Walmart in Camillus that left a worker hurt. Authorities say he could not get money out of the ATM and began smashing the machine. When a store employee walked up, he flashed a gun. The employee tripped and fell, trying to get away. They are expected to be okay. No shots were fired in that incident. The investigation is ongoing. And Americade gets underway today in Lake George, and that means a lot of motorcycles going across central New York. Motorcycle enthusiasts from around the country will be taking part in the popular festival that runs through Sunday. You can find a complete list of events at Americade.com. Well, more sunny and warm weather on tap this week. We could see highs in the low 90s by week's end. Here's your forecast.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, mostly sunny, warm. Could be a little smoky haze to the sky this afternoon, high 82. Tonight, mostly clear, comfortable, near 50. And tomorrow, mostly sunny once again, very warm, slightly more humid, high of 86. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Sunshine 61. WIBX news time is 8:06.
In sports, the NBA Finals matchup is now set. The Western Conference champion Denver Nuggets will take on the Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat for the NBA title. Miami cruised to a 103-84 win over the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the East Finals at TD Garden. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets will host Jimmy Butler and the Heat for Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Thursday night at Ball Arena. The Golden Knights are moving on to the Stanley Cup Final. Las Vegas blew out the Dallas Stars 6-0 in the Western Conference Finals. Aiden Hill stopped all 23 shots to earn the shutout. The Florida Panthers swept the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Finals to advance. The puck drops for Game 1 in Las Vegas on Saturday. The Yankees' winning streak is up to 3 games after blowing out the Mariners 10-4 in their series opener in Seattle. Domingo Germán picked up the victory after striking out 4 batters while allowing 4 runs over 6 1/3 innings. The Mets are back in Flushing to start a 6-game homestand in New York. They are hosting the Philadelphia Phillies tonight at Citi Field. The Mets will be looking to snap their 2-game skid. Right-hander Kodai Senga is expected to make his 10th start of the season. I'm Devin Furpo for WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
I got everybody now sending me all their Elvis impersonations. I think you have some too, as a matter of fact. And listen, I'm not saying this guy was good. He was cheesy. He was all of that stuff. And I just think that it was still a good time. Here are some of the ones being sent in. This guy's good. It's not bad. Here's another one. Here's this another what they call jumpsuit Elvis. All right, okay, whatever. You know, there are a million of these guys out there. You go to Vegas, they're all over the place. Here's a good one. One of my favorites.
If you find your sweetheart,
probably not the best impersonator, but one of my favorites is Andy Kaufman, if you remember. This might even used to do that on like Carson and on Saturday Night Live. And one more sent in to me here. This would be a young Elvis. Most of them like to be the old Elvis. The audio's horrible on all of these being sent in. Sorry. I'll try this one, and it'll be my last. All right, they're pretty good.
You want one over here? This is the one who...
this one is good. Who sent this in? Somebody sent this.
Roger sent this in.
Roger, I got to say, this one's really good.
Let's see if I can get it up. Here we go. Where's my audio? Where am I going?
And now he had his name,
That's pretty good.
and so I faced the final curtain.
I do have to say, Andrew Dominio, when in studio, would usually do an Elvis impersonation about 3 times a morning. And then he'd always go, when a woman would come in, he'd always go to his Gone with the Wind impersonation. Hello, Miss Daisy, come on in here. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program, Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And, you know, if you're looking for on a nice warm day, an iced coffee or an espresso or their lattes. 14 flavors of lattes. They are delicious. Seattle's best coffee comes from Daylight Donuts. And you know that drive-through, you're in and you're out and you're on your way. Fresh bagels, fresh donuts every single day. It's Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford with Chuck Sedella at the helm.
Someone just sent this to me. This is the latest trend on social media. I don't think it mentions TikTok by name. Okay, this is called chroming. The ripple effect is absolutely devastating. We have no child to bring home. Ezra Haynes died after she inhaled fumes from a deodorant can, causing her to go into a cardiac arrest on March 31st. She remained on life support for 8 days, at which point doctors determined her brain was damaged beyond repair.
I understand there are bad stories out there, but it's not necessarily a platform. It's the fact that information can now be spread so differently. When we were kids, it would be something you heard in school that you could do, right? Now it's on social media. It's being spread around the world. It's like somebody where they want to throw a nice party at their house, and all of a sudden 500 people show up because it was put out on social media. Things spread so quickly. There are going to be bad stories out there. I just think that at the same time, scaring the daylights out of people that if you get onto a social media platform, you're going to do A, B, and C is ridiculous. However,
I agree with you there.
But we should, as parents and grandparents, we should be very, very watchful and keep an eye on passwords and that sort of thing and where your kids are, especially when they're vulnerable and younger. It is an issue. I'm just not sure the last guy was giving us concrete, accurate information that we talked to last hour. Just my take on it, which is worth what? Nothing. 8:13, we'll break. Senator Griffo, there's the one you want to be listening to. Griffo in studio coming up at WIBX.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com. Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Memorial Day sale, May 26th through June 5th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $31.14. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The love of singing, incredible talent, and dedication to a passion for music define the greatest female vocalists of all time. Girl Singer is a buoyant musical tribute to them, showcasing amazingly talented local female singers that electrify the stage with these same qualities. For 2 weekends only, June 2nd through the 4th and June 8th through the 11th, Players of Utica presents Girl Singer, a tribute. It's a surefire musical hit featuring vocal stylings ranging from pop to blues to country western, to soul, to classics. You know the songs, and now hear them live on stage like you've never heard them before. Sponsored by New Hartford Eye Associates. That's June 2nd through the 4th and June 8th through the 11th. Get your tickets for Girl Singer at playersofutica.org. Call 315-724-7624 today.
Senior and student tickets are available with proper ID at both the evening and matinee performances.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Portions of the program today brought to you by Mazda. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Move to Mazda sales event is back. 2.9% APR financing up to 36 months on a new 2023 Mazda CX-30, CX-5, and CX-50. Enjoy 0% APR financing up to 36 months on the new 2023 Mazda CX-9. The Move to Mazda sales event from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. You know, Senator Griffo, it's all about treating people well. And that's the Ricky Z way. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. In studio right now, Senator Joe Griffo. Now, I'm talking about these Elvis impersonators that we saw over the weekend at a show over the weekend.
Where were
and
they?
This was this was a club in Midtown.
Midtown.
So it was at a club next to the MJ Broadway show, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So not only was there an Elvis impersonator in there, but you had, after the show let out, you had all the Navy guys and women in there, Marines, regular people. And then when the show let out, these Broadway singers and performers came. There was a whole group of them having a birthday party, and they're dancing to Elvis. It was like a variety show we were watching. It was unbelievable. They're flipping, the women are doing flips, and it was just incredible. But every time Elvis lost the crowd, now remember that you've got all these Navy guys and women in there. Every time Elvis he wouldn't get the response he'd want, he must have done this 10 times. Hey, how about you all give a nice round of applause to our service members over here? Come on, give it up. And of course, everybody applauds. And, it's the cheap way of getting a round of applause.
So everybody in uniform?
Give it up to America.
Were they all in uniform?
Everybody was in uniform.
Oh, wow.
There were a lot of officers, too. I thought that was interesting. And a lot of bad dancers.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Anybody lose that lovin' feeling?
He did that song. Yeah. Even though it was a Righteous Brothers song, he has a version of it, and he did do that. May have butchered it a bit, but he did it. Senator Griffo, good morning.
Good morning. Good to see y'all.
So you were, we're talking about Elvis performing and, putting on a show. You recently put on your own little comedy show.
Indeed, we did in Albany. What that is if anyone is familiar with the White House Correspondents' Dinner nationally, the state does something similar a couple weeks after the national, and you have all the press there, like New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Post, the News, the AP, Political. So what they do is a very similar version. They change it a little bit. There was a dinner at one time, like Washington. Now they've gone to a reception. And every year what they do is have the press go on first with satire. And a lot of it is parody, musical like you.
Kind of like a roast.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a roast. And then they always invite one Democrat, one Republican to do rebuttals, comedic rebuttals. This year the Democrat was the governor, and I was invited as the Republican.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So your rival was the governor.
Indeed.
Wow.
This whole time, the comedy routine I thought you were talking about was the state budget process. I didn't know you guys actually had a dinner.
That was the warm-up show.
Where were you when I needed material?
Yeah.
So what were some of your digs?
So I called Bill because I in solidarity with the writers that are on strike right now, it was hard to get material.
Right. It's been terrible.
But I thought we were going to get some help from Jimmy. But
Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy has been traveling so much with Kennedy. I just think he was not able to get stuff together for you.
We worked with Alex from my office, a couple of former people that had worked in the state government. I got a hold of them, and we kind of collaborated with the concept that we wanted to approach, and it decided that we would do a little monologue. One of the things I did do is I stole from Jimmy Fallon, and we did some thank you notes, and then did a nice video, which I think I shared
That
with
was
you.
funny, yeah, very funny.
And thanks Media Services in the Senate that helped us to put it all together after we gave them the concept. And then finally sang a little song, and I did my own parody of Allentown, which was Living in Albany, and we were very fortunate to invite Ben Kidwell to join me.
Oh, yeah?
So I called JP and Christina and said, got this opportunity. If you think Ben might be interested, and you can bring him. And,
nice.
And it really went well. So Ben is phenomenal on the piano.
Yeah,
and especially with the Billy Joel stuff. So he mastered thank you notes too. I mean, if we can find that, I think they're going to put it all up on YouTube over the next.
So the
few
little,
days.
the little piano music playing in the background to make it all beautiful.
As I was getting my thank you notes down, right? Like Ben, how about a little thank you note music?
Was the governor at all funny? Because some of her ideas have been very funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scary, funny. I don't know what she wanted.
Well, one of the things the press did a takeoff with her was the electric slide. Like it's electric because she wants to electrify the whole.
Right, everything's going to be electric
right now.
Yeah,
but she did a good job, and I think we did better from the reaction that we had, which was good because I was. Apprehensive, as I was going into this thing, and
sometimes these roasts, when you do a roast, can turn very sour.
We did pretty good at yours. Remember?
You did. You were extremely insulting, but I have I have thick skin. I took a lot of hammering. Sometimes people, right? Sometimes
they
people
get upset,
get offended, and.
Well, also sometimes people, I think, cross a line that they shouldn't cross. But
they say in these.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen here.
Some of these roasts, the general thought is there is no line, and you would not, obviously, in this event. You would have to have a
respect, but
great deal of respect.
We were funny. I mean, to the governor's credit, she stayed. Most of the times, governors will come, and if they participate, submit their video and then leave. But to her credit, she went on after the press. She went on, and we were the final thing, too, which was going to be difficult because you have to hold everybody's attention. Because at that point, they're ready to leave. And fortunately, she stayed. And it was kind of interesting, too, because you're looking right at her when you're taking these shots, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't only her. We took shots at ourselves, too. The video was looking at the Senate GOP as the lonely conference, ignored and neglected. And I think we did a pretty good job. Some of the members from the city was very telling. The guy that represents Broadway came up to me and said, "You stole the show."
Nice.
So I figured this guy represents, the Manhattan and Broadway.
Yeah, you gotta know something. Sure.
But we got good reviews from the press, from the political establishment, from other business people that the lobby community. So it's very very well attended. And turned out to be a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
I love it.
It's electric. Blackout, blackout, blackout.
So you can hopefully at some point, if people are interested, it will
be able
on
to
YouTube.
see it. Okay.
But, Channel 2, I think KTV did a little something on Friday night where you could just hear me begin the song, We're Living Here in Albany.
Okay.
Even had the train whistle.
And we're living here in Albany.
Right.
Yeah.
Kathy Hochul's budget on a spending spree.
I like it. You have the throughway coming in, right?
Yes, so County Executive Pacenti and I have come together with the county's Office for the Aging, and it's something that we did several years ago. I invited the Public Service Commission and the New York State Thruway Authority to join us on Thursday, June 1st. Can't believe it's going to be June 1st on Thursday.
We're flying.
5 p.m. at the Copper City Connections, the former Dorfman Senior Center in Rome.
All right.
5 p.m. They'll be here for a couple of hours. We'll have 3 members of the Public Service Commission, which is huge because these are the individuals that oversee what a lot of people are critical of when they look at utility rates and subscriber rates for cable, things of that nature. That's all within the purview and the jurisdiction and responsibility of the Public Service Commission.
Right, yeah.
Also, the Thruway Authority will be there because a lot of people have had questions, not only about the tolls, but also about the gantries and some of the bills that have been issued that have been erroneous, and how does that change or happen?
Why are we tearing down some of these rest areas, these big Adirondack-style buildings, are not that old, and we're
Bill,
tearing
it's a
them.
new day.
Well,
you can't have those old buildings up. It's a new administration.
It does make me think that maybe those buildings with those really tall ceilings are difficult to heat and cool. But you're talking fairly new construction. We're tearing them all down.
That was one of my part of my monologue.
It was
one of my thank you notes, actually, talking about how these throughway stops. Thank you for building these throughway stops. All new and everything that can only fit about 10 people at a time.
Yeah, I know.
So
the big ones have yet to be built, but it looks like the ones that are being built are pretty large. The big ones. The small ones are small. The one at Chittenango, there's a new one, I believe, at Little Falls. Those are fairly small.
Yeah, I think they're much smaller than they could or should be when you're trying to remember people are stopping in order to.
You know what is nice is the Albany, the Capital District New York Welcome Center. That's a pretty nice. If you've been in there yet,
I have not been in there.
It's nice, and the bathrooms are clean. The other ones, apparently, we've decided that why clean the bathroom when we're going to tear it down in a couple of months anyway? That's what it's like. I mean, they're filthy, broken down. They're awful.
Can I just, since we're nitpicking here, I'm going to continue this. Why? They should come up with a different name for the one in Albany you just mentioned. It's the Welcome Center, but it's in the middle of the state. You've already, whatever direction you're coming from, you've been in the state for 3 to 5 hours already.
I do think it's the
Welcome Center in Albany.
I think it's the Capital District Welcome Center.
Oh, okay.
So inside, one thing they have done, it actually is really nice. So you have all this Albany County, Hudson Valley cheeses and honeys and all these local products that you can buy in there. And
that was a concept of the former governor, where what they did is regionally. There's a Mohawk Valley version of that.
The canal
district,
one that is before you get to, I don't know, it's shortly after, maybe Canajahari, just before Canajahari.
And they're basically information areas for that region. If you stop there, you can see local products. You can get information about any of the attractions and activities that are ongoing.
They have clean bathrooms. Really brand new bathrooms.
At least for now.
At least for now. That
we
plays
may have
a big role.
Job for him. That could be the inspector.
I am we are. We've been on the thruway enough to inspect them. But I'm going to tell you, if you miss the bathroom stop, I don't know. It might be if you don't stop in Little Falls, or maybe it's the one before. It's like the next bathroom is like 65 miles away.
Wow.
Yeah. So everybody, if you think you got to go now, because otherwise we're pulling off the side of the road.
So does it go from Little Falls headed in which direction?
I think the next one after Little Falls is Chittenango.
Well, no, you got the
if you're going westbound.
You got Herkimer.
Herkimer's not open.
Well, it will be, though.
But my point is right now, if you're on the thruway, you're going 65 miles, and it's been that way for about 6 months already.
Well, but you got to stop off in Utica maybe then, right?
You'd have to get off. You can get off and exit, which is much easier today. Davey, you want to add something that I can see? What's going on?
Well, there was the one in Westmoreland, which they tore down. You are right. It is the one in Canastota.
Yeah, because you're going westbound if you're westbound. Yeah.
Well, the ones east are actually going west, right, with the Little Falls and the Herkimer. I mean, those are so close. I never understood why they
were it's technically Schuyler. That would be technically, and they are close. Right. Yeah. But then, so you go Little Falls, Schuyler, Chittenango.
Then you go a ways, right?
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah.
Not sure how they did it, but if you have any questions like that, this Thursday, June 1st, 5 o'clock, Copper City Connections off from Black River Boulevard in Rome. You will have the Thruway Authority there with their government relations people and the Public Service Commission, who will have their staff there, but also 3 members, voting members of the Public Service Commission, who can give you information about what they do and also to educate you about some of the things that you may want to
I'm going to ask you something first.
Well, don't get mad, but a part of this thruway, the state thruway authority will be there. They're planning to raise Easy Pass 5% this year or next year, and then another 5% in 2027. They're having hearings on this where they're taking public comment. I can't think of one person who ever says this is a great idea. But secondly, it's already decided, isn't it? They're going.
Can I be the person to say it's a great idea? I'll
Go
be that
ahead.
person.
You want to be that guy?
I am that guy.
All right. Well, blame Bill Keeler the next time you go through and they raise your
I'm
rate.
just going to tell you right now. First of all, you pay more if you don't have Easy Pass.
No, this is for Easy Pass.
I understand, but they're raising all the rates. So if you don't have Easy Pass, it's going up significantly more. If you have Easy Pass, it's going up by 3 to 5%, whatever it is. But my point is, as I was traveling the thruway this weekend, Arizona, California, Arkansas, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Jersey, all out-of-state people helping us pay for a New York State highway. As opposed to if we don't raise those rates, we, the taxpayers, will end up kicking it in. It'll just be New Yorkers paying for the improvements on the thruway. That's why, and no one is like, I'm not going through New York because I won't pay those tolls. Maybe there's somebody out there, but the average person is not going to do that. Collectively throughout the country, they're paying for this as opposed to just us in New York. Your thoughts on that, Joe?
I don't believe that we need a toll increase right now.
I'm just saying, though, wouldn't you rather, and maybe we don't need a toll increase.
We need to look at what happens in other states, too. Many other states have these type of thoroughfares, and they don't charge on their turnpikes, and some do, some don't. So in this case,
New Jersey, Massachusetts, all the Northeast states charge.
Correct. In this case, it's a user-based system.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that you understand. There's always been the argument that they were promised that they would eliminate the tolls when the debt was paid, but they still continue the tolls. And I can understand, as you indicated, that they've made this a pay-as-you-go as a user-based system.
If we did do what was original, we all heard that back, especially in the 80s. It's like as soon as this is paid off, it'll be free. Right. But at that point,
nothing free.
Upgrades, upgrades would have to be coming from us, the taxpayer.
General tax.
Yeah,
from the general tax.
So that's where I think it is better to do it this way. It's kind of like sales tax versus property tax.
That's a good point.
You know.
Question here. Good morning, Mr. Griffo. What's the latest on Vernon Downs? At what point does New York State say enough is enough? Either no to Jeff Garrell and close and or sell the place.
Well, I don't agree with that, with the individuals. We talked about this before. Vernon plays a role in a number of categories. They employ people there. Several hundred people are working there. It's a venue, an entertainment venue, which provides and attracts people to come to the area, even though the sport has waned in its interest. But you see that in a lot of different sports, too, how things change with times, and you have to adjust accordingly. So I believe that what Jeff has asked for is reasonable. He initially, when actually I put this together, when you look at what is back in 2017 or 18 is when we first started this, and we were successful then when we had divided government.
Isn't he looking for a tax break to just continue?
Basically, he's looking for some fairness. And things have changed not only with the pandemic, but before the pandemic, with the method and manner in which we legalized gaming in this state. There was no rhyme or reason the way it happened. If you remember, Lago was named a casino, and that was designated for the southern tier. Last I knew, Rochester wasn't the southern tier. Somebody didn't do well.
I think they meant it would be on the southern side of the thruway, but they got that even wrong. It's on the northern side of the thruway.
So the bottom line is, when you look at all the decisions that were made, they had an impact on him beyond what already existed. So all he was looking for is to be competitive. This is really kind of an investment for him because he likes racing, but he's also not going to sit there and just continue to lose money. Even though I'm not his accountant, so I'm not sure how that plays with how he handles his financial statements. But I think the point he made and that what we had done is to reduce the tax rate, that he was to give him some parity with others incentives that had been given to the other racing and casinos, things of that nature. What was said at the time is that he had to keep 90% of full-time employees. The number had to stay the same. Now we had a pandemic, we have a workforce shortage, so now he's not meeting that number.
And there was not just a shortage, but there was a mandate where you could only have at one point 25% of the employees could work.
Go to work.
So they had to shut everything down.
So he's saying, look, how could I meet, the
You guys
agreement?
wouldn't let me.
Right, because of circumstances
Yeah,
and conditions. And so I think his point was well made, and he deserves to be considered accordingly. With Lago, he's competing with Toyota down in Binghamton, which is not our area, but they're connected, Vernon and Toyota, because same ownership. So he is looking for parity there, with things that have been done and given to places like Del Lago. So the state has come in to try to bail out the casinos. It's something I warned about. I said this is supposed to be an industry that was going to generate revenue and create jobs, and now it's costing taxpayers money.
Isn't it interesting, though, that Turning Stone...
And you're going to add another one in New York City now.
Turning Stone is not... all these other ones are struggling. Obviously, they had a 25, 30-year, at least a 25-year head start, but Turning Stone is doing very well. The rest of these are struggling pretty poorly.
Well, I think it's the approach. And Turning Stone has done it well.
Diversified.
And they've diversified, and they work hard, and they have a good vision. I think what you saw in a lot of these places, let's just create them quickly.
Yeah.
And there was no reason to move as quickly with the Gaming Commission. So that's why I've always cautioned about establishing these commissions, whether it's the Gaming Commission or now the Climate Control Board and all these groups that exist, the Office of Energy Regulatory, that are coming up with all these directives and orders, and they're not even elected officials. And they're making these decisions, and in my opinion, some of these, they're very dumb decisions in many cases. Because they should have approached this in a much more deliberative fashion. I mean, take it, if you recall, the reason that gaming was allowed in New York State was to generate this kind of activity and to have people downstate come upstate. Now they're going to create two more casinos downstate.
Larry, on the I got a couple calls I want to get in. 315-736-0186 for Senator Joe Griffo. Larry, you're on with the Senator. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
I got a question, Bill, about them out-of-state plates. Maybe Joe could confirm this. I read somewhere where New York State Breweries owed like $200 million because the out-of-state plates aren't going to pay it. You could bill them, but they're out of state. They're not going to pay the tolls.
I would. Isn't there a coordination between states?
I didn't hear the question.
What he's saying is that how are you going to get the out-of-state plate to pay?
Well, there are some interstate agreements across the country.
If you don't pay New York, New Jersey will penalize you.
Correct. That's the way they have done that right now for all states, because the same thing could happen with us if you had a New Yorker in New Jersey. Yeah. So there's an agreement. But the question is, I see the comptroller just issued a report that said there's several $100 million that are still outstanding in fines and everything, and that's a lot of money when you consider. So we've got to, and we've cautioned about that when they moved forward on all this technology, that if you're going to do this, you better be prepared to collect and hold people accountable, but also to ensure that you're not charging people when unnecessarily, and that's happening too right now. But you've seen that in New York City. You ever get those parking bills from New York City where they'll say you were down here in the city, you owe so much money, and you have to fight it because you really weren't there?
Well, I was there, but I said I wasn't, and
you probably used our license plates.
I did, yeah. I put a little paper over mine. It looks just like yours. Larry, here's the other thing. Easy Pass works in New Jersey. It works in Pennsylvania. It works in all of these other states. So they all, just because it's an out-of-state plate doesn't mean they don't have an Easy Pass or their version of Easy Pass as well. So, and believe me, cha-ching, cha-ching, every time that vehicle goes through with an Easy Pass. So, all right.
Like Joe said, the controller came back. There's $200 million still owed to the state.
Well, yeah, I imagine that's true, but I would say it's probably not just out-of-staters. That probably includes a lot of New Yorkers as well.
As far as the
who owe money, money.
Absolutely, it's both.
Okay, all right, Larry, go Mets, go Mets, Larry, go Mets.
So here we go. This is just this week from the State Comptroller's Office. The state's Thruway Authority has to do a better job of identifying, billing, and collecting tolls on related fees, including $276 million it has been seeking as of March of 2023. Tolls and related fees make up more than 90% of the Thruway's revenue. 90% of toll revenues are from users of Easy Pass, and the rest are tolls by mail. Here's some of the penalties.
That high, 90%.
Vehicle owners get a warning if their Easy Pass account has had a negative balance for over 30 days. If no payment is made, the account is canceled and a $25 fee is charged. If the Easy Pass device is not returned, another $16 fee is added. Tolls by mail that aren't paid in 30 days trigger a warning notice of a $5 fine. If it's still not paid 30 days later, it's a $50 fee. 30 days after the violation notice, the Thruway can send you to a collection agency.
All right. One thing I do like is the ease now of getting off and back on.
Right.
Without having the collectors.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Although it was nice to be able to pull up to a toll booth collector and say, "Hey, I'm going to such and such a place. Where do I turn?" And they would, I guess we have our computer, our cell phones to do that
Going
now,
over the
but-
border, the northern border right now, they're not going to allow any type of monetary transaction. It's going to have to be all credit card or Easy Pass.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So of that $275 million owed, nearly 43% of the unpaid tolls and fees are from out-of-state drivers.
Wow. So about half. Jim, and wherever you're calling from. Hi, Jim. You're on with Joe Griffo.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. I was just wondering, about Vernon. They've been restricted because it seems like everything got catered to the Turning Stone. And Lago even had a thing with that about the 100 miles. You can't expand any other casino within 100 miles of the Turning Stone. So that's like they have a monopoly there or something to me. And as far as my experience or even my wife's experience, Vernon Downs has been great. And not only that, Saratoga Racino, we go there a little bit. They seem to be paying out. I don't know. I mean, we seem to go there. We don't really lose any money. I mean, we go to just enjoy the play and stuff, and then and then where I've been to the Turning Stone for years, I haven't been there in about 8 to 10 years now, and we're just happy. We just we take a ride Saratoga, Vernon Day, and we do okay. We watch what we're doing. But the thing is that they can't expand Vernon and like Saratoga, they can do what they want to do, and they haven't since the COVID they got rid of the buffet, which is I wish they brought that back.
Are you saying they can't? The Vernon Downs isn't allowed to expand at all?
I don't know when Vicente I think made the deal right with the taxes and all that because you used to buy the cigarettes up there, the cartons and all that. Then they stopped that and they started tax. They said, okay, they won't sell the cigarettes. It's got to be through,
Who's they? The Turning Stone?
Yeah,
Okay.
they I guess when they said between the state and Turning Stone.
Okay, all right.
The state took over the cigarettes. The Indians only sell their Indian brands. Like you can't get certain brands.
All right, okay. Here. I don't know anything about the cigarettes, but Jeff is a smoker.
Yeah, so you can get your name brands, Newport, Marlboro, all that stuff, but you pay what you pay at an American convenience store. So you pay $12, $13 a pack.
Like with the gas.
With the gas. Now, for instance, the Turning Stone, I believe, does sell other Native American brand cigarettes, but again, they do have to enforce a tax collection there. The only break they get is if it's grown and manufactured on their own land.
Okay.
On their own land. So, for instance, if you bought a pack of Seneca cigarettes from Turning Stone, you'd pay several dollars more in tax than you would if you bought that same pack on the Seneca property up wherever it might be.
All
Yeah.
right. And by the way, thank you, Jim.
Familiar with that,
Yeah.
right?
We'll ask.
I'm saying though, in general, they can't. Vernon is not allowed to expand.
Okay.
They can't expand that facility because they got that agreement, and then Lago had it out with them, something about that, but they were able to do it.
All right, I'm going to hang up and let Joe answer that if you couldn't. By the way, Joe, I do want to say you guys have done a great job in New York making the air cleaner. As I said, I was just in the city, and you don't smell cigarette at all anymore.
It's just weed.
No,
It's just
weed.
marijuana.
Yeah,
and all
weed.
different. I got to tell you something. Every different marijuana they sell has another flavor to it. So the smells
Is it calm
are
to you? Are you
completely.
calm?
I am not. It was beginning to make me a little sick
You had
smelling
a
it
tranquil
all.
experience.
I guess maybe I was. It was affecting me.
Were
Maybe
you
that
hungry?
was.
Did you get hungry?
Clean Indoor Air Act.
We did eat a lot. We did eat a lot, but you
So I
can't
think-
go to a stadium and smoke outdoors.
Right.
But apparently now smoking doesn't include marijuana.
There seems to be a big misconception here. Is it okay to smoke pot, smoke joints?
No.
People are saying, well, it's not a cigarette. It says no smoking. They mean cigarettes.
Yeah, no. It has to follow the same concept of any when you smoking. Smoking
you
is
can't
smoking.
smoke it in a
right.
in a
so if
in
it
a
says no
restaurant.
smoking, you can't smoke it.
I just find we've spent
you
all
can
our
pos- you
time limiting cigarette
You
smoke
can
and limiting.
possess
Now
it
all of a
now,
sudden
but
we're
there's only certain areas
Yeah.
where you can purchase it, but that's a problem too.
The other
because
part is it was really nice walking down the streets of New York and seeing delivery drivers smoking weed as they're driving down the road.
Are you serious?
Honest to God. So there's a guy waiting. Somebody's unloading a truck. The guy's in the truck, in the driver's seat, smoking weed.
I think that's going to be a major, challenge and concern,
hard. Yeah, it
obviously,
is.
from a
All
traffic
right.
safety perspective.
Anything else you want to add on any of this? Because
Isn't Gorell a big Democrat? They won't
Yeah,
pass this for
yeah.
him. He
So-
was
so-
up for a position with Biden at one point.
So I'm not sure. I didn't get to hear the last caller, but I think what he was talking about, they can expand at Vernon as far as the facility. I mean, they can't get into gaming because they're not a casino. Because
Right.
the state issues those
racing.
licenses.
And am I correct that the you can't bet the horses at the Turning Stone? I don't think you
But
can.
you have sports book there now.
But the
so,
sports book,
right.
I don't think you can bet horses there.
I think you might be correct.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I think you're correct. What
Like
you're
if
saying.
you wanted to bet the Kentucky Derby or
Yes, yeah. I mean, I
you
think
that's been reserved for racinos and OTBs.
if you're going to do this kind of stuff, though, in my opinion, this is where New York goes in there, and dips
so
their
everything's so regulatedly
well, but
stupid.
it also dips their foot in instead of going all the way in. Like
Yeah, I
if
know.
we were going to do sports book, I always said you should go all the way,
Just
and it
do
should be
it.
like Vegas, where you could even bet on who's going to be the next president, or
Right.
Who's going to
I
beyond
agree
who's
with
going to
that.
win the Super Bowl or the World Series.
but no, the West Point's playing.
That's the other thing you can't do in New York. You can't bet on local
crazy.
teams, even though.
But you can you can professional sports. You
Right.
can't do it in college
Right.
sports. Which, by the way, I don't know. College sports looks pretty professional these days because these guys are making money now. So it doesn't seem like, again, these guys get something going and they push for it and it gets passed and
Yeah,
it
doesn't.
And you and the poor minority can't do anything about it. Hold on tight, Joe.
Okay.
I want to bring in a local restaurant that we wanted to feature. So anything else you want to push and talk about, let me know. And in the meantime, there's a local restaurant in the Valley we want to bring in coming up in a second. Stand by for that, Joe. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. If you have an issue or you're looking for a new family doctor, they have several doctors under one roof. The Falcon Clinic is located in Washington Mills. Dr. Shemolinsky, Dr. Zelinsky, Dr. Kosminski, everything from acupuncture to family practitioners to a doctor like Dr. Shemolinsky, who's a family doctor who's worked years in the ER, who can really thoroughly examine someone to help them find out what that problematic ailment might be. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Call them today, 315-507-4751 online, falconclinic.com.
On Thursday, June 1st, the Rome Capitol Theater presents the Linda Ronstadt Experience. The Linda Ronstadt Experience features 2016 American Idol finalist Tristan McIntosh with a six-piece band. Singer-songwriter Sydney Irving opens the show at 7:30. The Linda Ronstadt Experience, Thursday, June 1st at the Rome Capitol Theater. Get your advance sale tickets today. Brought to you by Gunther Wealth Management.
We invest in Herkimer and Oneida counties. We work with the community to make things better for old and young alike. Today, tomorrow, and in the years to come. Every day, we put the community's long-term savings to work. Who are we? We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties. FoundationHOC.org. We're your community foundation, working to build a vibrant region with opportunity for all.
Hey, let's talk about Inceras Flooring. If you are looking for flooring, you'll want to go to a store that specializes in flooring. That is Inceras Flooring Outlet, the largest inventory in all of Central New York, period. And they have a couple of things you can take advantage of. Right now, $50 off coupon with a minimum $500 purchase, so you can get that right off their website. See the store for details. And right now, get 6 months interest-free financing at Incera's Flooring Outlet. If it's flooring, it's Incera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49, in their all-new Route 49 Plaza. You can visit them just down the road from us, River Road in Marcy, and online, always at InserasFlooringOutlet.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, in studio is Senator Joe Griffo. Quickly, a lingering phone call out there, Joe. You want to answer one more?
Sure.
Wayne, you're on with the Senator. Good morning.
Well, I'll just say hello to him. I was just going to make a comment on what you said about the casino and the horses. Dad, you can't bet the horses up there, and it becomes more of a tedious thing with the horses than it is betting anyway.
So you can bet the horses at Vernon Downs, but not at Turning Stone. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was the case. And I don't think on any of those online apps that you have on your phone, you can't bet horses on those either. Although there are apps where you can bet specifically on horses.
Or go right to OTB.
Why all the confusion, Joe? You can buy New York wine buy New York wine in the grocery store, but you can't buy wine in the grocery store. You can't buy soda in a liquor store.
That's crazy. By rubbing alcohol. By rubbing alcohol.
You're rubbing alcohol. Yes.
Or
good point.
hand sanitizer, in a pinch.
You never know when you really need to drink. Okay, Wayne. Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
All right. It is interesting how all these rules and regulations guide us.
It's ridiculous the way these things are approached. As I said, when you get into something, then they try to put so many caveats on it, and I think it just confuses people.
A lot of this goes way back, many years ago.
Last few weeks of session, so you're going to see this. The wine and grocery stores is a big push for that, but I am very concerned with that because these small businesses went in under a construct, whether you agree with it or not. And now you could put them all out of business potentially too for convenience. So there's a lot going on. The bigger, better bottle bill, which really is from an environmental standpoint may be good, but it's going to really become costly to consumers and to certain segments of industry that are really concerned right now. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
All right, we have more questions that we'll get to coming up in a second, but I want to introduce you to Tucker. And hi, Tucker. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Tucker Rosemeyer is with a new restaurant in Frankfurt called 1886 Prime.
1886 Prime. The building was built in 1886.
Is that where it comes from?
The original brick walls. Rod invaded the place, and we're serving some prime burgers and steaks in there.
Tucker, you are tanner than your black shirt. Oh, my Lord. You're the tannest man I've ever seen in my life.
Oneida Lake, man. The sun was strong the other day. I mowed the lawn yesterday.
And just like that. I was out in the sun for 2 weeks. I look like this. It's terrible. Wow. So you're not always in the kitchen, but when you are, you're really doing a great job. Talk about the restaurant and the foods. We were there maybe a month ago and tried it out.
We're open 6 days a week right now, and we're open at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're not open for lunch. We originally decided to do a soft opening to keep the menu simple compared to what we did before at Karma.
Yeah.
And it's just been slammed ever since. I don't know if the menu is even going to expand at all anymore at this point, but we are looking forward to adding lunch very soon.
Okay, cool. Talk about what you have on the menu.
When we decided to open this place, we didn't know which way it would go. We call it a pizzeria and chop house, so we wanted to open the door to maybe serving like some higher grade beef, but at the same time having like local fare, chicken Riggy's pizza and wings, Purple Cow wings. And it's really taken off in the pizzeria. And so it's like we have 3 types of pizza there. We do this old-fashioned pan pizza, which is modeled after the Frankfurt famous pizzeria in Frankfurt called Thurston's. We do an upside-down pizza. We call that the Utica style. It's our house pizza, which is probably almost #1 seller right now, and obviously the New York style pizza, which is hand-tossed.
All right. Okay, so you're open 6 days a week, open now in Frankfurt, and it's named after the year the building was constructed.
Yes, sir.
Did not know that. Do you remember the last time you were in here, what you did?
We did the Sananga, right? We did the eye
we
drops.
did it.
I didn't bring them today. I didn't bring them today.
You didn't bring
I
any?
think he said he was bringing something better this time. What do you got?
No, I didn't bring anything.
Joe, he has this. Explain what you do, Tucker, for the senator.
Well, I've been traveling to
First of
South
all,
America.
Tucker, is it legal?
The Sananga is
Yeah, it's
completely
legal.
legal. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause you're talking to a senator.
They're
I
eye
mean-
drops from the Amazon, and what they do is in the Amazon they use them to do night hunting, but it's also a spiritual cleanse. So you drop them in your eyes, and basically causes all this pain, but it clears your energy centers.
Yeah. Burned the daylights out of Manaski.
It's a very powerful medicine.
Yeah. You know what it felt like when I did it?
What you do?
I wouldn't do it.
No, he wouldn't do it.
I'm not doing it.
He
I didn't
wasn't
do it.
interested.
No.
Just eye drops, or do
yeah.
they do any other type of drops that they take orally or anything? or-
Well, not in New York. We don't do that. But I've traveled
Oh.
to South America, and we've done some of these medicines to cleanse.
So,
You're tearing up just thinking about it.
of course, the new Jets quarterback has done this, and Tucker's
You're
announcing
right.
this morning he's going to be the next quarterback of the Albany River Rats, I think, or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing Rodgers was doing, right?
Ayahuasca. Yeah, he
Yeah.
went and drink ayahuasca.
He did explain what he did. He did a weekend of, it wasn't a weekend, it might have been 3 or 4 days, where a total
darkness retreat. Yeah, darkness retreat. A lot of people that are using these plant medicines are also doing other things like that, because the brain starts to release 5-MeO DMT after like a couple days
What was
of
that again?
darkness. So the brain releases
5-MeO-DMT.
DMT.
You ought to get Tucker with Dr. Shimoleski. Maybe they can.
There might be something to. There may be something there.
Which is illegal. 5-MeO DMT is illegal.
Okay, do not do that then.
But if you release it yourself, then you're holding
I see.
it. So.
Okay, all right.
And that's what, after 2 days of darkness, you said?
Basically, 2 days of darkness, the brain starts to release that.
Have you done the Aaron Rodgers thing?
I have 25 times.
25 times.
25 times I've drank ayahuasca.
It's a shot. It's a shot.
So
I thought it was something you smoked.
No, it's a drink that they've been drinking for over 1,000 years in the Amazon jungle, and they use it for a lot of people coming back from war. They go to these retreats and they find peace in using this medicine.
On one hand, I think, wow, these are the ancient medicines that were used by the people who are really brilliant around the world, right? But then I think about what the Amazon looks like, and I'm like, well, they're very underdeveloped. They've not really used their wiseness to develop their own land. Maybe that's the wise right there. The fact that they are not developed like we are. Maybe they're all better off. Could be.
Are you looking for a comment on that? Well, I can equate to this when
It's usually what I do.
Brought civilization to the Native Americans who had no jails, who had no laws, and we called ourselves civilized. So
that's a good point.
It's very similar.
It's a very good point. Anything you want to add here? Any questions of him?
No.
And we have more questions on you before we get out of here. Go ahead.
So, when are you going to add lunch? Soon? You don't know for sure?
We're adding lunch next week, so I didn't really,
so you are adding lunch.
We're going to add lunch. It's going to be a very simple lunch. We have our Prime Smash Burger. So we use USDA Prime beef. We smash the burgers. We use Heidelberg rolls for them. We're going to have pizza and a few other simple sandwiches to start off easy for lunch. So that's going to happen next week.
Right.
And then someone's telling me here, you've got to ask Joe. He has an Elvis in the family.
Yeah, I have a cousin who does Elvis.
Oh, really?
You use that Wagyu beef too, the new
the Wagyu beef.
Wagyu beef.
Yeah,
Is that what makes that so special?
The high marbling content of the cow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different breed. In America, they breed the Angus with the Wagyu, and they call it American Kobe. And so this is a little bit dialed down from the Australian or the Japanese version.
Kind of the difference between the way that a cow that is treated and that isn't Wagyu. It's the difference. Maybe the majority of the Senate versus the minority are treated, right? The minority is treated, but the majority is given all these perks and they're living life. They're feeding them grapes, probably.
Is organic? Is it organic?
Is it organic? I don't know. All right. Anything else? Are we good? We are good. All right. I want to tell you. What do I have to do? River Hills Properties, fastest growing real estate company in Central New York. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. If you're looking to sell your property, go with an agency like my wife and I did that does so much more. They're with you every step of the process. Every time your house is shown, your listing agent is there to answer questions, to help, to assist, and to make the process go that much easier. And as Jimmy Fallon says, to lower the stress level. Call River Hills today. 315-896-1009, River Hills Properties. WIBX, Utica, Rome.
Some Republicans want to block their own House Speaker. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Rules Committee today meets to consider advancing the raise the debt limit compromise with President Biden. GOP Congressman Ralph Norman is on that panel and tells Fox this will add trillions to our debt, so it's only a good plan for
China, which is buying up more of our debt, and the Biden administration, which we're now seeing is a corrupt administration that will spin this country into oblivion. We're not going to have it.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's reply?
Read the Wall Street Journal. They say it's a very good bill.
McCarthy just told Fox spending will be cut to 2022 levels.
This is the biggest cut in American history that we'd vote for. And I'm not sure where in here. There's no new taxes. There's no new government programs. Would I wanted to cut more? Yes.
More Americans may still be traveling back from their Memorial Day weekend, which saw more people fly somewhere than before COVID. The TSA reports 9.8 million airport passenger screenings. That's higher than 2019. An accused mass murderer is about to go on trial this hour in Pittsburgh.
Following weeks of jury selection, opening statements are set in the federal trial of Robert Bowers, who has pleaded not guilty to 63 charges, including hate crimes. The charges stem from the October 2018 massacre at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Members of 3 congregations were killed in that attack, with victims ranging in age from 54 to 97.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Police in Hollywood, Florida are searching for a second suspect in yesterday's shooting on a beach boardwalk when a fight between 2 groups escalated.
I was in the store and I heard a couple of gunshots. I ran over and everybody was laying on the ground. It was pretty scary.
That was just insane.
9 people were injured, 4 of them kids, including a 1-year-old. In Davenport, Iowa, they may today demolish the apartment building that partially collapsed Sunday. 9 people had to be rescued. The building is so unsafe, residents are not allowed to go back in. They'll lose everything. America's listening to Fox News.
You've heard me discuss how my everyday aches and pains were affecting my daily life before I started taking Relief Factor. You've also heard me talk to you about how my friends and family have found relief from their aches and pains with Relief Factor. Well, let me tell you about Gary from California. Gary says, I cannot thank you enough. I am 62 years old and have just started taking Relief Factor. I've never felt better and will recommend Relief Factor to all my baby boomer friends. Well, thanks for writing, Gary. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for only $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Are you in the market for a vehicle that's like new but don't want to break the bank? Look no further than GM certified pre-owned vehicles at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. With rates as low as 1.9% on select models, you can find new roads without the high price tag. Check out the 2022 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 with only 3,000 miles, or the 2022 Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive with rates as low as 2.49%. And with a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, you can drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. So why wait? Visit us online anytime at SteetPawneeChevy.com to browse our complete inventory and take advantage of these amazing deals. This inventory won't last long. Steet Pawnee Chevrolet on Route 28 in Herkimer. See why it's always easy to do business at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be back-breaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris. Work hard, feel good.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to GetRefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.